Hello, everyone. Greetings, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Shout out to Louis Conyers, She'd We Hear, Black Light Revelation, and Judge Dre. And I gotta ask y'all, dude. Like for real, like I know that I take full accountability in liking to do these broadcasts every weekend, and it's like, damn, dude, we go through a whole fucking week. Like, can we go through just at least a week without doing something ratchet? Good God, it's like what are we doing? I just did a broadcast a couple weeks ago called how we accepting the worst versions of ourselves. So now we're just plain old goddamn defending the worst versions of ourselves, and it's not even from other groups of people anymore. I mean, shit, what kind of focus have we given them lately? Let's just be honest. Oh no, let's be brutally honest. And on that note, I'm going to say long live the habitual line stepper. So as you walk into this broadcast, please hit the like button. If this is your first time here, of course, you're probably likely not subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. And thank you to all my new and existing subscribers, the people who check my post on my community tab out. That's been wonderful. I've been getting a lot of engagement there, so yeah, that's been fun shit. But as far as I can tell, it's been a bizarre fucking week, and the reason why I say it is because I saw an entire article where guys were in bonnets, and this really strange part about it was the fact that this was a reaction, uh, a black woman saying something to young black girls. Now we always have these little cases where we have our women who, in particularly, will say things like that. Everybody's always talking about them. Everybody's always checking them. If other groups were doing it, uh, nobody would have a problem with it. But when we do it, everybody has a problem with it. We're the most disrespected, most unprotected. The whole shebang and bang. So I understand like that sympatry is kind of serious in these streets, in these social media streets. I do get that. I get that quite often, and I do understand that a lot of you guys out there who and let's go ahead and just clear up the definition of simp. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not men who love women or black men who love black women, because y'all love to try to redefine things to the point where they don't make any sense. But so what I like to do here on this channel is introduce a little something that I like to call context. So we all know what the fuck we're talking about from the jump. If my language is a little bit too harsh for you, just read what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and that will explain everything to you. This is not a G-rated program, so you should not have 5 and 6 year old kids in front of the screen with you popping popcorn and drinking soda and shit like that. I mean, but if that's your household, that's your household. But you've been warned. We about to talk about dudes strangely wearing fucking bonnets. Dudes wearing bonnets. Come on now. Let me show you that. Let me show you the article, because it's weird to me, like how we say that we want to respect the sisters, we want to protect the sisters and everything, but these are dudes actually railing against a sister, and it really starts to ultimately prove one thing for sure, and it's that we don't like to be told anything. I think a lot of it comes from it's like young versus old, because a while back Jay Z said something to the effect of there was something that these young rappers was doing called a money phone, where they would take a stack of money and act like they're talking on the phone. And what Jay Z was trying to say was that kind of represents minstrel shows and blackface thing, in blackface imagery of of what they drew as a caricature of a black man talking on a watermelon phone. So these situations are parallel because what I'm doing right now is giving you a case of a man holding men accountable for their behavior. But these things are always lost in time, forgotten about. People act like they don't remember the shit. So what happened after Jay-Z said that? And I forgot. I got this off a YouTube video, and it was all over the place. Dude had documented evidence. Um, Instead of everybody heeding the warning, they the younger rappers doubled down, and one of those rappers was Drake. Another one of those rappers, well, I believe to be named Lil Yachty. I don't keep up with these Lils and all this other stuff. And pretty much after Young Jeezy and Lil Wayne, I got and Lil Troy and all them. I got lost on the Lils and the Youngs and all that stuff. So yeah, and there was some other goof, and then there was some other old goofy rapper that actually ordered a really big bag of money with a really big stack of money and did the money phone just to push back on what Jay-Z said. And I'm sure that rapper, I think he was killed recently. So, I mean, I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm not saying that to be insensitive. I'm just saying this is what happened. He either is incarcerated forever or he's dead, which is, he became a statistic, by the way. So this is like some of the crap that I see that, and I mean, like, I respect young people's position. A lot of you out here doing this thing, but this is the kind of crap that young people push back on just because an older person says it. A Gen X person says something to a millennial about a certain behavior, then all of a sudden is this horrible ass reaction, like I told you the story of what I did to your mother, graduation night in high school. Like, it's such vitriol to the point where younger people feel like that they are being disrespected. So what they'll do is they'll double down and they'll triple down on the behavior that was advised against. And I mean, like, this usually, like you got to think about the messenger. And in this case, the messenger was Jay-Z. What can you say about what can you say about Jay-Z? Seriously, that's a successful ass dude. He's the epitome of black success. And you push back against him to do an idiot ass buck dancing uh money phone, because we, instead of being sensible people that want to have somewhat of a sensible presentation, we want to be a nigger with the hard R. We want to be our worst selves because we think it's so cool. It's looked at as being so outside the box and not giving a shit. Every time, like, I used to grow up with these guys that would, like, they didn't necessarily want to be rappers, but they would bust flows at parties after they smoked about 5 blunts, and this shit used to always happen. The favorite lines among all these guys was "I don't give a fuck." They incorporated the line "I don't give a fuck" in every one of their little bad flows. And I mean, these were not lyrical wonders. I mean, maybe one or two guys I knew, but see, the fact that he didn't even try is that's why he is where he is right now, and that's another story for another time. It's just a matter of fact. It's like we think not giving a fuck is fucking cool, and that needs to stop. It does. I mean, I can't tell you that as an older person, because guess what? Some of y'all gonna start saying, "Old nigga, oh, old nigga right here." Like, okay, fine. Then you can fuck yourself all on your own, but don't act like I ain't trying to tell you anything. That's just my deal with this kind of shit right here. Now, I know we kind of talk about BWs and everything, and their insecurities and their lack of accountability, but yeah, it really shined through and through this time. And it gives heed to what brothers have been saying in this space and other spaces. I mean, on their YouTube channels, on social media, in our everyday lives. It gives heed to what we've been saying. A lot of what the problem is. You don't want to listen to anyone. You think it's making you look bad for some magical group of people or some shit, or some golden god is looking down on you. It's like, oh my god, they said something about black women in bonnets, so we're gonna make that a racist stereotype, just like we made the hood and the sagging pants. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I saw a lot of that this week. A lot of sisters and a lot of these old simp dudes, especially the ones like I guess the guys that wore the bonnets, they saying stuff like, uh oh God, I'm just yeah, I just lost my thought for a second. That has to stop. Yeah, but they were saying all kinds of shit, making all kinds of excuses. And we'll get into it. We'll get into it as the broadcast goes by. Let me get some shout outs here. All right. I see Ken seeing red down there. I see the Roger Report Live. Rael Ray Alexander. What's going on? Yep, another night. Another night. Another night. Want to be seen as a real nigga to get treated like a real nigga. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was about to say about the sagging pants. That's what I was gonna say before. Uh, there was a lot of sisters and a lot of these little simp brothers saying, well, why don't Monique focus on the brother with the sagging pants? Why can't she focus on that? Why she got to focus on sisters? I'm like, first of all, a main complaint is that the brothers like a lot of simps. Yeah, you're gonna get called simps this broadcast because what I'm about to show you is just ridiculous. But a lot of the simps would say, and a lot of the females would say, is like, why didn't Monique or why won't black men focus on these young boys with these sagging pants? Hey, we've been saying this for the longest. We've been saying that. Hey, you know what? You got sagging pants from that little prison thing. Little prison thing saying that this right here is available for the taking. So we've been saying that all the time. We've been saying the worst of the worst about it just because of the context that sagging pants comes from. And yes, it did start in my generation, but it wasn't like the sagging pants showing the underwear. We just kind of wore it below our waistline a little bit, and we'll wear a shirt over to where you couldn't see our underwear. But these boys, they going overboard with that shit these days. Like they wear it down to their knees. They even wear the jeans too skinny to where they can't even pull it up over their underwear. We say shit about that all the time. How stupid that looks. So don't just because the focus is on sister wearing bonnets in public, don't shift it back over there. I mean, that always has existed. That is no problem, and that's what usually where these conversations break down. We have no problems addressing brothers, and for the right things, and rightfully so. We should be addressing brothers, but you address that sister one time. All of a sudden, it's all this victimhood. Oh, black men talk about it. I mean, the whole entire world talk about us enough. Why they gotta talk about us too? Shit's ridiculous. So let me get this screen share going. Terrence Forbes Jr. What's going on? If I didn't shout you out yet, there. Let's see. All right. Hope y'all can see that because that shit right there is ridiculous. So the headline reason this is out of sandarose.com. I mean, sure, if you have a clear enough screen, you can see that URL. Monique criticizes black women for wearing bonnets in public. Their sons respond by wearing bonnets too. Now, see, here's the thing. I already didn't like that context right there because already they're putting it in the. I mean, I guess by it being named sandarose.com, it is kind of fem anyway. But I mean, by putting it in that context already, it's like you acting like our moms wore bonnets in public. Now, if all the grown people in the building, did your mom wear a bonnet in public? I'm going to tell you, my mom didn't. I don't care how bad it got. She put her hair somewhat together to go out in public. But look at these goofy ass dudes right here. And I'll try not to get too explicit. I'll try not to get too. Fuck that shit. Just brutally honest. So, here's the context. Monique gets on Instagram and says something to the effect of, well, she was in the Atlanta airport on her way to a comedy show, about to get it up. She loves going to the stage and everything, and she was speaking as the auntie. She's the auntie. She's been in grace. She's been in grace with that title by a lot of young women. So she said, "My auntie got to talk to you," and she literally said, "And tell y'all some real shit." I mean, because that's the way Monique is. That's her style. That's her swagger. And this is a married black woman. Remember that. A married, melanated black woman, married to a black man, older, wiser than a lot of these. Even though we didn't feel like she was wiser at times. Like, number one, I did a video a while back where she had stuck up for Roseanne Barr, talking about Roseanne Barr was her sister and all that other stuff. After all that racist stuff, and then, like, this is around the time Roseanne got fired, and Monique did it in the name of defending comedy. People can pretty much say what they want or whatever, but racist. What I mean, it was very politically charged. He called Valerie Jarrett like some in the context of ape or a monkey or some shit like that. So I mean, whatever. Like, what the fuck are you defending? Like, that's that sisterhood that we be talking about. I mean, what the fuck are you defending her for? And we noticed that. We as men, we noticed that. We notice how y'all ride for these white women, like low key and kind of high key as well. Mm. Sex in the City was a hit show with black women, but yeah, it's like, look at this goofy brother on the screen. So, oh yeah, I ain't even finished telling the story because I mean, I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, this is unfucking believable. Um, yeah, so she basically said that she went into Atlanta airport. She walking through the Atlanta airport, and she's saying that it was too many sisters to count that she saw in bonnets, house slippers, house robes, pajamas, just like they just rolled out of bed. And she just, started really breaking it down. Like, if y'all want to be considered, these men queen, not well, not she. No, she even specifically said this was not even about men. It's not even about looking good for a man. She was just saying that if you want to, you know, carry the moniker of queen, you got to carry yourself that way. Be presentable in public. I made a video about this earlier this week. I was saying, hey, you know what? There might be an opportunity out there for you. This ain't just about this ain't just about what men think, and black men being in black women business too much. So it ain't about none of that. It's about doing what makes sense. Common goddamn sense. And from the way it looks, common sense ain't too fucking common these days. Hey, if that was too many F words for you, there's a super chat down there. So, just saying, no, I mean, just stating the obvious. But I mean, and it did the usual, and it become the usual because this has already happened every time somebody say something about black women doing a little something ratchet. Like, say for instance the Kevin Kelly restaurant incident. How them sisters twerking to just because they hear music. Oh my God, I can't control my butt cheeks. I gotta twerk. That's how I saw that situation. And the man asked nicely several times to behave in his restaurant. Then he had to go there. But of course, another internet fake outrage shitstorm happened. You're trying to tell black women how to behave. It ain't even about that. It's not even about that. All he was saying was the same thing Monique's saying right now. Represent for the culture. Carry yourself with some class. What's wrong with black people carrying ourselves with class? Being our higher selves, being our better selves. Hey, in fact, for some of us, more than what any of you are willing to give us credit to, a lot of us are our best selves. That doesn't mean that necessarily a good thing for some people, but is when I say best selves, it's like I'm not saying that, oh, the best you can do is sit around in some wrinkly ass pants stained by the mustard that drip from your burger like at 12:15 this at noon. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is your best self is just like you actually gave yourself a chance and it shows. That's what your best self is. The ones that ain't on pins and needles about bad decisions because the most of your decisions were either okay, smart, or good. You know, keeping yourself up a little bit, not sagging your pants everywhere you go for children to see the back of your ass. Can you imagine being a child standing behind a guy sagging his pants and all his damn shit streaked underwear is showing? That's classless bullshit. That's childish. No man should carry themselves like that. But let me tell you something, because and shout out to ODJ, the YouTuber that's channel whose size is much bigger than mine. He pointed this out in his video. He said, "Ain't no sisters finna sit up there and sag pants to show support for brothers." And this is why, and this is exactly why they don't respect you. And this is exactly why a lot of women should say that, yeah, some of these brothers are in black women business a little bit too much. When these brothers did this, they were out of place. It was out of place, and they went overboard with it. Like, they saw the girls on Facebook and Twitter go off so badly, and their feelings were hurt so much that they had to wear bonnets in support of them. Bonnets in support of women who are looking for masculine men, or at least they complain about there not being enough masculine men. But hey, you know what? You just gave them a shit ton of evidence. So let's look at this article. And again, the title reads, Monique criticizes black women for wearing bonnets in public. Their sons respond by wearing bonnets too. Okay, so that's when y'all want to put everything in the framing of your mothers and everything. So hey, yeah, I mean, like I said, my mother ain't wearing no bonnet in public. Shut the fuck up. And then it goes like I had the link to this article in my other video, so go check that video out. It was the last recorded video I put out. Give it some views, but if you want to check the article out, I put the link in that, and I'll probably put the link to the article in this too. But here's who's leading the charge. Christopher Ludacris Bridges. And this right here is definitely ludicrous. Literally ludicrous. And he went so far as to 3D the motherfucker in there. Because let me see. Where's my little pointer? Yep, see the pointer? That's the top lining of the picture. And the bonnet comes over the lining of the picture just so he can make his little point. Minding my black owned business. Okay, thank you for making yourself totally relatable. But here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that. Back in the tinfoil hat days, they would have chewed your ass up on YouTube. They'd have put you in all the conspiracy theories. They emasculating the black man. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, I think they probably got some videos out there already about how you are the symbol of emasculation right now because you had to put on a fucking bonnet to support ratchetness. Is that what we become as a people? Is we support ratchetness? I mean, think about it. Like fellas, think about it. Oh, you ready to go out on this date? It's like, oh, she, you ready? You didn't got reservations at a nice little restaurant. You got a little piece of jewelry. Maybe you simping yourself a little bit. I'm just like, and then you got the car all clean. You got cleaned up yourself. Get your nice little haircut. Tell everybody at the barbershop, man, I'm going out with my old lady. She's so beautiful. And then when she comes out with her purse, but she comes out in a bonnet, her pajamas, her bathrobe, her house slippers. I ain't got time. I ain't had time to get ready today and fuck all that shit. And blah, blah, like, huh? Wouldn't make any sense, was it? So why did it make sense for Ludacris to do this? It made none. And look at that. Hey, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. Oh, you know how we love to talk about Atlanta. And I'll defend Atlanta. I'll even say it's not even in the top 15 most alphabet cities in the United States. It's not even in the top 15. And that's by like a few websites. Because I've done the research. Because see, that's how we look at black. We always want to bring black to this BS level. But see, having Atlanta, Georgia right above the bonnet, Ludacris, thanks, guy. Thank you very much for Not helping that argument at all. Oh, so let's scroll down. Did you think it stopped there? Oh, look at this guy right here. Looking like when light skinned niggas take pictures. I stand in solidarity with our black queens wearing bonnets outside. I'm like, okay, all right, man. So, see, here's the thing: when somebody roasts you on Facebook and they pull that picture up, they gonna have a fucking field day. They ain't gonna say, "Oh, thanks for standing up for us." They ain't gonna remember that because you're gonna say one wrong thing. Cause see, this is the thing with simps, and I've always said this: is like the second you say one thing they disagree with, the second you roasted forever. You just got yourself roasted forever, man. And then, just desserts. Hey, when light skinned niggas go to college, look at them. Look at this guy in response. Same, my boy. See, I don't like the little half black feminist power fist. I don't like that at all. It's disingenuous. You don't look serious at all. I mean, shit. It's like it's almost like you're trying to force a virtue signal. I mean, shit. What? Where the fuck did you get a bonnet from? Like this dude look like he's in a shotgun apartment away from his parents. Mom, I got my first apartment. Like, oh, look at this guy right here. I'm just gonna pass right by this guy and act like he doesn't exist. Oh, but look at this motherfucker right here. He looks like a tuba player in the band. Like, look seriously. Like when I marched in the band in high school. Yeah, I was a band member. Ooh, okay, that's gonna raise some suspicions, huh? Ooh, raise some flags for the idiots. Um, Yeah, the sousaphone players, they call them sousaphones. They really were just a tuba that you can carry over your shoulder in a loop. They wore bonnets, but they were solid colors. Like they didn't look like this. They didn't look like they didn't look like yeah, Mama, I want to sing. Please pass me the baking powder so I could do some shit. Like it didn't look like that. It looked like it belonged on a band member. Plus, they couldn't wear the big hats because the bell was right above their heads. So that's why they had to wear those. They called them berets. They didn't call them bonnets, but they look a lot like this. But this nigga right here ain't playing a fucking tuba. It looked like he about to play a microphone. Like, dude, whoops. Like, seriously, with the fucking bonnet with the flowers. Dude? What the fuck was you thinking, man? Like, what? Well, I'm gonna clap some cheeks right after this. Yeah, but they might belong to somebody that looked like they had the same stuff as you. I mean, seriously, dude. Like, there's no reward for this. There's no reward for this. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy and his I don't know, the guy he met at the Big Brother program. Like what the fuck are you smiling for? Like come on now, come on, Chubbs. Well, let me stop before they see this as bullying. Oh my god, he's being bullied. And look at this guy right here. Yeah, he has seen one up close. Oh, this dude just lost his girlfriend. So, I mean, sorry, guy. I mean, you have to put a fucking bonnet on to try to get her back. Oh, see, look at me. This is me standing up. Look at me. I'm standing up for black women now. You want me to please let me back. Let me back. Like, this is not masculine. These women are complaining about masculine men not being around. I'm not the best. I'm not the best comedian, y'all. So whatever I'm saying this because I think it's fucking ridiculous. I'm not saying this so I get a standing ovation at the end of the night. But this looked like okay. No, no, ain't no sussing that. That's all the way. That's definitive. That's past suspect. I mean, sorry if this guy got an argument saying, "Hey man, I ain't yeah, dude, no, bruh." I mean, look at him. These are the guys. These are the kind of guys that get on Facebook and YouTube and call Kevin Samuels gay. Let's just go ahead and face it. Oh, we're standing up for our. No, you're not. No, you're not. I always call this shit out. It's fake virtue signaling. It's fake protection. Like these motherfuckers can't protect the damn furry feline. They can't protect their own cat. Like how the fuck they gonna protect a black woman doing this bullshit right here? They don't want you, guy. I mean, shout out to Green Gorilla. I'm gonna use his word. Bizarre. This is bizarre. You don't have to go overboard, brothers, to show your love for black women. And let me see if I can see some of the comments. Let me show you some of the comments down here. Because I mean, like this, I don't normally agree with the sisterhood ever on anything because I think that they're extremely illogical. But let me see. Let's see. Oh God, look at Renee. Cause see, yeah, this sounds like she be on Facebook a lot. Here's a statement right here. These rapscallions are really wearing these bonnets. Yeah, that doesn't look like it says, "Oh, thanks for standing up for us, black men and our mothers." No, that doesn't look like that. Oh yeah, yeah. This is an excuse, so no need to read excuses. We've been reading excuses all week, and I'm gonna give y'all the worst excuse I've ever heard. Like the worst excuse I'm hearing in the black community. Like yeah, or whatever you want to call this collective or diaspora, or whatever. And, oh, but this Fly Girls 80, she said some real shit right here. She said, while I agree with Monique, she's wasting her breath on this angry generation. And that statement says a lot. I just got through talking about how when an older person tells a younger person something, and then it's this really super angry fucking reaction, like we told you to go kill yourself, or something like that, or we say we're gonna do something to your auntie or something. Like seriously, guys, it's not that serious. I'm sorry I didn't save you from whatever you say that we're supposed to save you from. I'm really sorry about that. But there's no need for that angry ass reaction. Like I'm gonna tell you, like they used to tell me when I used to pout off and get mad like that when I was younger. I'm gonna tell you to grow up. Period. I mean, you ain't got to be around me. I don't fool with dickheads and bitch ass niggas and all. Like, but anyway, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, here there goes another excuse because that's what the sisterhood is gonna do. Oh, this is one. This is the one right here. That this is one of the excuses that I've been generally seeing, but I just wanted to point that out. Not to mention, she played the mother if precious. That's more of that embarrassment than a bonnet ever will be. Okay, so what this little special person didn't think about was the fact that uh, that was the image she was trying to give off in a role that she played in a movie. If you really sit there and think, it's not hard to figure out that Monique's character was a villain in that movie that was very abusive to her daughter, and yes, very ghetto and ratchet. So, I mean, but that's no reflection of who Monique really is. That was a character she played. So we don't need to go back and forth about how illogical sisters can be sometimes. But I just wanted to point that out as that was one of the major excuses. Let's see. Oh God, there's so many goalpost moves, but I really wanted to see what. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Oh well, these comments. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Here goes. Here goes. Train because like all of it is it excuses, little horrible straw man logic, and yeah, this is the one I mentioned in the video. This is the one I mentioned in the video. She says so they'll publicly say, I'm really doing this for the people who haven't seen the video. But like I said, it was the last video I did. She said, so they'll publicly stand for black women wearing bonnets outside, but remain mute on real issues like black women who are abused or handled in inhumane ways by black men or authority figures. Yep. See that I don't like that shit because it's always they every time they have a problem with a group of people, it's always black men first. Like they are so fucking oppressed. It doesn't so, but the premise of what she said was kind of correct, in the first few words. In the first few words. So they'll publicly stand for black women wearing bonnets. Yeah, they did. That's exactly what they did. Fly Girl 80s making sense to these old little once again. And then Roxy Moxie said that's because half of these men love to dwell in their femininity, which is a shaming tactic. This is something easy for them to support. I've said stuff to that context in the past. I said that all y'all simps out there sitting up there pulling pics of dudes, trying to make fun of them in front of women, threatening dudes, doxing dudes, all that is fake protection. That is no way to protect anyone. You can't protect anyone like that. You just want to try to talk bad to someone that's because you know they're several states away. But when you find out the Negro is close, then that's when all that chicken shit stuff changes. So, um, yeah, talk stuff from several states away. It's fake support. It's fake outrage. It's fake protection. There's no way you can protect a black woman from a computer screen or your damn cell phone by all that damn simping and trying to throw off the conversation just because a nigga may be right sometime. But yeah, yeah. And then this is TT on fire, and what the fuck ever. That I guess that means she's an auntie and not a mother or not married or something. I don't know. Now let me stop the shame. Let me stop the shaming. But TT on fire said, right, Ludacris posting pics in bonnets. He ain't minding his damn business. He minding Monique's. She was talking to the ladies, and here this troll comes. Well, Luda, she is correct. I'm just pointing out because, like I said, Simp's efforts was not appreciated. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. Their efforts are not appreciated. Their efforts are never really appreciated unless they are there at the time. That's it. And then like, oh god. So I'm just gonna stop and I'm gonna show you this one more time because I'm gonna let y'all know that fuckery exists. Fuckery exists. Let me go on back up there. Yeah, this little bullshit right here. Yeah, yeah. This nigga never have another girlfriend in his life. Yeah, this dude is probably with his significant other. uh, yeah, this dude is what you can call an incel and an incel in training. It's like the assistant pimp and the pimp, except for you replace pimp with incel. This dude right here, nah, bruh. But yeah, am I being too judgmental? Am I being worthy? Do you feel, sitting in the chat and those of you out there watching this replay on demand, you can express your whatever you feel in the comment section, and I'll do a better job into replying and making that interactive as well. Do you think that I'm being too harsh? Do you think these brothers' hearts and heads was in the right place when they decided to go steal their girlfriend's bond, or if they got girlfriends? Because I seriously doubt. I mean, stop the shaming, Kev. Stop the shaming. Um, their mother's bonnets or whatever, and then decided to stand in solidarity. Or do you agree with me, agreeing with Green Gorilla, and saying that this shit is pretty fucking bizarre? Like, I mean, like, brothers, no, See, I can say this as a black man, brothers, you can do something else to show your love and appreciation for the sisters besides this dumb shit right here. All right. So let me look at some of these comments. All right, guys. See, you got 28 people in here. Stop the goddamn screen. Got 28 people in here. All right. Winston Tokahisa. Let me scroll back up, people. Bear with me. How's everyone doing tonight? 29 people. I hope I at least got 29 likes up in here. Or when my equipment gets better, I'm going to bother y'all with sound effects. Okay, yeah, there you go. Winston Tokahisa, what's going on? What's going on? Long live the habitual line steppers. Uh, Indigenous, see you down there, Indigenous TV. Ray Alexander. Let's see what you got to say. A lot of brothers need to stop presenting the worst versions of black manhood to the world. Also, we need to serve positive and highly productive images of black manhood to the world. Okay, I get that. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah, we gotta have a good. We gotta have the best representation. Indigenous TV. Take off the bonnets and put on an apron so you can cook breakfast for your man before he goes to work. Mm. Ken seeing red, having classes acting white, Kev. Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that because a lot of the excuses and the pushback included this whole little dialogue of, "Oh, I'm not going to focus on sisters wearing bonnets in public. I'm going to focus on white supremacy." My response is, "What? Finally? Are you for real this time? You gonna do it this time? You were doing it all this other time when you was talking about Black Lives Matter? Like the fuck?" Southeast Dusty, what's going on? Petway boy. I was in Walmart. And this black guy had skinny jeans while sagging. That shit, yeah, that shit's embarrassing. Why wear your jeans so skinny to the point where you can't pull it up over your underwear? Why are you displaying your underwear? That like for real? That's just like for real. Go ahead, get the bonnet and complete the set because, oh god. All right, Jeremiah Aronisi. I hope I'm saying it right. Jeremiah Aronisi. He said I have a backup plan from the women. This is this is horrible. LMFAO. All right. Who is Cavs Abbey? Miniature Michelin Man? Nope. That's Baby Thanos, sir. I thought that picture was hilarious. Yeah, it's super fucking hilarious. So I decided to use it as avatar tonight because that's just me. But Cortez Smith, what's going on, man? He said, "Yeah, stop shaming them bitch niggas, KL. LOL. No, we gonna shame the motherfuckers tonight." So let me drop the link, man. Shoot, you guys are great. Like you guys are awesome. I want to let y'all know that. And for those of you who are not subscribed yet, what are you doing right now? Hit that subscribe button. Because we do some cool shit here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Got some new ideas on the way, but this always on the way. They're always on the way. All right. Yeah, but no. I'm sorry. I will never defend brothers doing dumb shit like that. Never, ever, 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 ever. I will never, ever defend brothers doing dumb shit like that. But I was trying to put something up here on the screen. Trying to put something up here on the screen. So anybody come backstage, y'all got to sit tight for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the worst version of an excuse, and I want to type it out because I want the context to be correct. Yeah, I'm not a fastest typist. I took a typing class in high school. I retained some of the skill, but these keys are a little small on this laptop. Bear with me. And like I said, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, please. Or hit the dislike button because, I got those kind of people too. And I mean, as soon as I had this question typed out, I think that a lot of you would agree with me that this is some bullshit. Almost done. Slow typing ass old nigga. All right. Okay. All right. There it is. There it is. I know that took a little longer to type, and people with better typists can type faster, which is fucking obvious. But I feel like that this is something that I never really want to hear because it does trigger me quite a bit. And like, I try to control my triggering because it's not good for anyone. But I'm gonna go ahead and read it. This is the worst excuse I've ever heard. This is definitely some. If you have to make this excuse right here, then you definitely don't care about us getting better. I don't give a fuck what you say. It's just like you're. It's probably gonna be very little you're gonna have to say to me from that point on. But I'm going to read. It's like when you're having these conversations about the black community. When someone starts to ask you, is this a problem that's exclusive to black people? Which is kind of a next salt fallacy because of course it's not a problem that is exclusive to black people since there are over 7 billion people on this fucking planet. But it's a way to avoid the conversation that needs to be had. Period. It, and like I say, it makes me sick to my stomach because whether I present evidence or not, if I'm pretty much saying that this is how this shit goes down in the black community, why are you trying to deflect from it? I mean, shit, like a lot of the stuff doesn't sound good, and yet we should be accountable for this stuff. Like, I feel accountable being a part of a community if I have a voice and two big hands and two big feet to make a difference, and I don't do anything or I don't say anything. That's not right. That's not fair to the collective. It isn't. To just run my mouth and not try to present a case of some type or try to present some evidence because I understand that a lot of people in this space, outside this space, and I know this is excuse me, quite the talking point. Yeah, they just talk out of their asses. But for what I'm saying is this: if I feel horribly upset because somebody's child, some black kid walked into school with a gun and discharges a firearm and doesn't hit his intended target, and it's a and the target just and the person who gets hit, struck in the chest, and died just happens to be a little girl whose birthday party is that next day. If I get upset because of that, if 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 I'm asking why, if I'm trying to talk to somebody about it, how messed up it is, the last fucking thing I want to hear is about a mass shooting. Well, white kids, they go in school shooting all the time. So, this is just it's not a behavior exclusive to blacks. I've heard this before. Like, it was like two school shootings in my hometown within a span of a couple weeks. One at a junior high school and one at a high school. I was talking to a couple of people about it. And one of them started being like, well, with all the stuff, the mass shootings that the white kids do, why you focus on that? So basically, when like I said, when a conversation comes to that, when you're not allowed, like when people are disallowing you from caring about your own community, caring about what goes on with black people, that's when I started to say, hey man, look, me and you can Okay, we can exchange kid pictures or woman, whatever. We can exchange kid pictures. We can talk about cartoons, TV shows, whatever. But serious conversations, man, we're out of that game. Because I'm like, I'm tired of talking to people who don't fucking care. You won't believe how many people that are in this space because they can't talk to anybody about the problems that we are facing, the degradation in our behaviors that we are observing every day. Because when a lot of us intelligent, critically thinking blacks, men and women, when we get old, that's gonna be it. I mean, I wouldn't really rely on an entitled millennial for anything. And that's not a knock on all millennials because millennials are a good group of people. Some of you are just misguided and entitled. Some of you. But that's another fallacy. Yeah, of course. In a world of 7 billion people. Well, I mean, yeah. So, what is it? What is it? What is it? When we talk about these things, we're embarrassed because see, this the thing is though, when you talk about things in the context of black people, when you're having a black people conversation, there's no getting around that being happening in the black community. There's no way of getting around it. So when you talk about problems that are in the black community, yes, you care about it being exclusively a problem to black people. Yes, I don't want I if Asians started doing drive by, well, let me be careful. Let me put a disclaimer. I'm speaking in a context. I don't have anything against Asians or any other group of people. And I know that there, there's an anti-Asian, but if it's like, okay, if okay, let me that's bad. If another group of people started doing drive-by shootings, are you going to accept it when that person says, "See, hey, they do drive-by shootings too"? Or are you going to want the shit to stop in your community? I want the shit to stop in my community because I'm tired of innocent people being killed. I mean, not. I mean, I've seen some shit growing up. Just because I have this voice and this diction, that doesn't mean shit. I have the same experiences you guys have. That's another thing I want to discuss. The fact that I even had to say that that you what I used to get told because I have the good diction in my speeches that I thought I was better than other people. Yeah, that I wanted to be white. Just like, let me see if I can get that. Yeah, who said that earlier? I think it was Ken seeing red. Let me put that. Yeah, but yeah. In that context, like they'll tell you you're acting white if you care about the way you look and you care about the way you carry yourself, or you want to pull your pants up, or you don't want to wear jeans and a big white T-shirt every fucking day, or you want to communicate with people in a respectful tone where they can understand every word that you are saying. Like I said, the people who wear bonnets in public, the guys who wear bonnets in social media pictures, they're the guys that are saying this kind of stuff. Oh yeah. Let's not leave Pookie out. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Pookie defense is another way. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last broadcast, but yeah, it's Pookie defense. Everybody defending Pookie. Shoot, when are you going to defend the scholar? When are you going to defend the guy who wants to go to college? When are you going to defend the guy who, or the girl who wants better for our community? When are you going to defend that person? Why you got to defend the dregs? Now, that argument right there is a slippery slope because then you'll get into the whole why we defend the people we defend in the media when something happened with them and cops. That that conversation is a slippery slope. But okay, here's what I'll say about that. Despite the character of any of these people, you shouldn't allow racists to be racist. I'm sorry. The cruelty and the malice in that act that Derek Chauvin did. And we even had people, some of our people defending that. Doesn't hurt my feelings because not like it honestly, not brutal being brutally honest, nothing really surprises me that much. No, nothing does. This is kind of tough actually to surprise me on anything these days. Like it's and I get it. And I get it. People write laws to advantage themselves. If you have a criminal record, that means obviously to some of us that you don't deserve a second chance, that you somehow deserve to die. When really, I'm saying that you niggas are just probably scared. Some of y'all do have a point though on some of these folks, but still, man, racists should not be allowed to be racist. Sorry, we should. It's something that should never go down ever. My thing is for having like a lot of these broadcasts is the inevitability that we are becoming worse. I mean, it's not like it's like we can talk about it. It's cool, but the fact that it happens, the fact that we have to sit here and talk about it, so we can try to find some kind of resolution. The fact that we have to sit there and discuss it happening in the first goddamn place. That's pretty much bad within itself. Like, sometimes I did wish I didn't have these things to focus on. But see, here's the thing. And I think most of you know this. I think a lot of you know this. And I mean, like, if you're in a sane mind or a prioritized mind, when you bring a child into this world, your world changes. It's easy to not give a fuck about anything if you don't have anything to live for. I give you that. I give you that all day. But once a child or children enter the world, and I'm not saying that all of you are the best parents either, and I'm not saying that with all of you that you thinking the way I'm thinking, but once my child entered the world, that made all the difference in the world. I would love to see my people set some great examples for a little person growing up, and not just for my child, for your young children as well. If you're any kind of sane parent, you want to see that. You're not going to make excuses for dumbasses just because they have the same skin color. You want better. You don't want worse. Shoot. I mean, my child just barely learned ring around the rosy. I don't want her knowing the words to wop and throat baby. Shit. So I mean, shit. You're gonna continue to get this kind of thing out of me for real. You're also gonna get people that are gonna tell me, "Who am I as a black man? Who am I as a black man to tell me something when black men are fed and black men and all this other dumbass shit that instead of just saying, hey, let's all work together, because that's too much like right. Let's make sure that we are purging the ratchetness from our community so it can be a better place for our children. Some of y'all don't even care about kids. Some of y'all had kids and don't even care about them. And believe you me, the whole onus is on me to care about the direction of society as far as my kid is concerned, as far as your kid is concerned. If you want better for your child, you don't want them having all these horrible influences that y'all keep caping for. Y'all is such a generals thing, because I know some of y'all out there like, oh, motherfucker, who you talking about, y'all? I don't want that shit for my kid. What the fuck you talking about? I get it. I get it. I'm not the only human being on the planet that wants best for their child. I can't be. Hmm. Can't be. Yeah. I tell you, I don't have a son, but if I had one, I bet not have ever caught him in a bonnet. And I mean, like some dudes. I mean, like I ain't gonna lie. Some dudes wear bonnets at the house because because they had Jerry curls or they had braids, or whatever. That was some gangster shit to them. A lot of them niggas did drive-bys and bonnets and shit, and that's something I never got. Like you remember the gangsters that used to like put pacifiers in their mouths and shit. I never got that shit either. I mean, shit. There's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can pull out our memories that people used to do that was real messed up. That they would think is a fashion accessory, but the point is like it's not a good look. It just isn't. And here's the one talking point that I'm going to stay away from. I'm going to stay away from that talking point that, other groups don't respect us. No, I ain't going to say that. And the reason why I don't like saying stuff like that is because of the fact that I feel like other groups are always going to have their minds made up about black people, African Americans, melanated, ADOS, African diaspora, whatever label you want to go with. If you like it, I love it. As long as we know that we're talking about the same thing and not that people of color bullshit. Man, boy, I tell you, we fucked ourselves stupid when we accepted that people of color thing. Cause see, the reason I'm tell you like this, the reason why I'm against the people of color thing because I feel like it gets rid of our individuality as blacks. Because that means that when you start talking about people of color, you got to talk about everybody who's people of color. And right now, we need to be as a people. We need to be in a place where we are caring about ourselves, and I'm talking about on many levels, politically and socially. This broadcast is about socially. I'm not going to claim I'm the biggest political expert, but I know enough about politics to know that with as far as us as a people, that things are definitely not going in a favorable direction for us. It's not. I mean, you can say it all you want. Oh, Biden is such a great president. Don't lie to me. Sure. We should like do we have any shame? I think the one thing that I think that really did not play in good for us is we got rid of the shame in black folks. We did. We got rid of the shame in us. And the reason why we got rid of we got rid of the shame in us is because I don't know. Either we were too embarrassed to be ashamed of something, or we just accepted it as our new norm. Think about it. Everything that we do negative became a characteristic of being black. Talk about being gangster, being ratchet, being loud, being very aggressive. Everything became a characteristic of a negative stereotype of who we were as a people. My biggest argument is we need to care about who we are as a people. We do, black people. Black people need to care about who we are as a people. I don't feel like we care about that enough. We care about how others look at us way a lot, but we don't care enough about how we look at us. And what's wrong with that? Why can't you care about how we look at us? I mean, the suggestion has always been, and this is what has gotten so offensive, is that we feel like that being good for other black people isn't good enough. Think about it. You go inside of black businesses. What you go inside of black business, what is your expectation automatically? Your expectation is your expectation is that, oh, black business. What I'm trying to do to try to bring some normalcy to us, I like the distinguishment because of being black as opposed to being everything else. In this world, I like that distinguishment, but we got to bring some kind of normalcy to it. You know, instead of saying, I was like, this black business, maybe we should just say business. I don't know. No, no. Retract all that bullshit. Yeah, say black business because we need to know where we are. We need to know where we are, but we don't need to go in it with a low expectation. Not not only for the business itself, but for ourselves because we have such we have such a negative stigma on our people. I mean, we want it to change, but we want it to change for ourselves, and we got to start being good enough for each other. So, what up, PK? What's going on?
What up, fam? Hey, man. Uh, so I got about a good 20 minutes to chop it up with you before I go to sleep. I supposed to been asleep about like 3 hours, almost 4 hours ago, but shit happens. So here I am.
Sure does. Shit does happen. Tell you that
Yeah.
much. I've been up since like I don't know 3:30 this morning Eastern.
Oh shit. Yeah, you didn't had a longer day than me then.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? I get re-energized every time I go on the air. So it is what it is, man. So what's going on, man? What's your thoughts about what you've heard so far in the topic itself?
Uh, so I'm kind of like I don't know. Have I been hoodwinked? I'm not 100% solid on what you mean by the topic. I do understand what you've been talking about, but I don't understand the title. Help me out.
Defending the worst of ourselves from ourselves.
So what do you mean by that? Because I don't grasp that completely as a
Yeah.
concept.
Well, the concept was really like how brothers and sisters were defending wearing bonnets in public from Monique. Basically, is basically when a black person checks another black person for a certain behavior, then we deflect and we defend the ratchet shit instead of saying we need to do better. And it doesn't matter really. It's not a thing that is like coming from other races at this point. We're not defending
Oh,
against other races. We're doing a lot of infighting,
I
and it
see.
seems like that we're trying to preserve the bullshit.
I
You
see.
know?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get that. I mean, it's a part of the dysfunction that we have within the black culture. I don't think there's really too much you can do about it. We can call it out, but to some extent, it's an expect. I mean, you're attempting to have expectations for a culture that doesn't have any at this particular moment. So of course, you're gonna be seen as the person. You're essentially the loudmouth in the room, or the crazy person, on the side of the road with the Bible talking about the world's going to end. So I mean, the thing is you can shout all the truth you want, but no one's going to listen because that's just the culture that we're in today and have been in and engaged in for quite some time now. So I understand the efforts though, and I agree with the sentiment. You know, I've heard it. I've heard it very often, and I think that it's important that we call it out within these spaces because at least here within this group of people, and even you do believe that we can make an impact on the environment. So it is important to point that type of shit out, undoubtedly.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, just everybody always want to claim they get sick of this space, saying certain things. But like I used to tell everybody, if you sick of something, then maybe you should change the behavior. I like to investigate to see what point people are making, and at the same time, if the point is correct, why are you so angry about it? Like, who are you shamed for? It ain't black people because black people see you every fucking day. Why are you so ashamed that this information is getting out? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these folks they running around here and they complaining and whatnot. But I mean, when you have a 70% out of wedlock birth rate and 80% obesity rate and 50% what is it? I think it's a 50% fucking herpes rate amongst black women. When you have when you when you get all this and you have a 41% fucking what is it 41% unemployment rate in the black community. These types of things are kind of to
And
be
the
expected.
and
They're to be you have a
and the
14%, in uh, prison population. This shit's like it's okay. It's to be expected. 34% of us have been to jail. All this is to be expected. It's
yeah.
kind of our group, black people in general in America are we're just having some pretty extreme issues, and we have disproportionate issues. So it is what it is. This is one of the consequences of that.
Yeah, but then we're so shamed when we start talking about it. We're so shamed. But who are we shamed for? Is too much shit that we have already not paid attention to that we let out of hand and let get out of hand. But the one thing that people want to be worried about is it being said and it being said in front of other folks. Like I always hear this shit is like the excuse the is this just a problem that's just exclusive to blacks? And my thing is, every time I hear that, why is it that we don't care enough about our community to understand that there is a problem that we need to examine, and it's for our our very future may be on the line. I mean, I understand that people might be saying like, well, it's not quite that serious, Kev. I mean, it might actually be that serious at this point.
I mean, so I don't think that it has not been examined. For instance, a lot of these issues have been talked about and professed in mainstream media. But the thing is what action has been taken on any of these sorts of issues outside of locking people up. Because if that's the answer to everything, then unfortunately we've seen where that has gotten us as a group. So I don't think that that's the answer. If we want true solutions, then we have to come up with new solutions or solutions that never got implemented in the past. You know what I mean? So when it comes to things that things that are going on in the black community, like give me an example. You know what I mean? Like what types of things do you think that we're not discussing? I guess in mainstream, because I mean we're talking about it obviously here in the black manosphere. We've talked about every number of issues. You know, damn near everything.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to push back on that a little bit. My care isn't with mainstream media because they're a controlled entity, and I don't expect them to care anyway. But yeah, the issues that are involving black boys are often ignored. I mean, the sisters get a lot of play, which, whatever on that. But as far as the focus being on black boys and improving things for black boys, that's things that we as black men have to do almost locally because nobody's going to do that shit for them. And due to the tremendous out of wedlock birth rate, these boys don't have solid figures in their lives.
Mhm.
So we're not, we're the main. If you want to know what's going on in mainstream, they're not telling women to stop having babies they can't afford. Because that's the whole point. Have babies you can afford. Limit the chances they have in their life, and maybe they'll end up in prison, making shoestrings and license plates for 1 cent an hour. I mean, that's
Right.
just that's just that's just what it is. So yeah, is if we're waiting on mainstream media to address our concerns, good fucking luck.
Okay.
Because
Okay. I see what you're saying. You're saying that the mainstream narrative doesn't have anything to do with black men and black boys. Yes, that is 100% accurate.
yeah,
Um, Mainstream media is more focused on uh, their agenda, and I'm going to put that in like quotation marks, whatever that may be. So that
and
doesn't necessarily include black men and black boys. Obviously, when it comes to American propaganda and American inclinations, as far as our concern is yes, there are already directions that we're being pulled in, and education and black male freedom isn't one of those agendas, at least not at this particular point in time. Um, so if we're looking for some sort of remedy to come down through those pipes, that doesn't seem to be the case. Uh, but when it comes to at least the black manosphere, yes, we have definitely you got figures here within the black manosphere who do almost nothing but call these things out, which is very admirable. You know, so these things are talked about. It's just a matter of where. It isn't going to be picked up by mainstream media anytime soon, though.
no, because I mean, look at the direction of black male representation in the mainstream media. Look at where it always goes, and look at where it's always going. God, man, him always either the black male representation is either weak or it's alphabet. So I really don't. It's like I don't think that mainstream media will ever do anything positive for the masculine type heterosexual black man. I don't think that unless he a bootlicker. That's the only way. Outside of that, nah, you're not going to be represented good. So yes, we do have to rely on places such as the Black Manosphere, which, by the way, many are trying to get labeled as a hate group for some reason or another, which I think is crazy.
Oh, really?
But yeah, well, that's just people talking shit, because they're upset because some of these truths are getting out, and it's never gonna stop. It's never ever gonna stop. And it ain't like, how you gonna get something labeled a hate group if it's no uniform structure, like like we got t-shirts and shit. It's like, come on, people are stupid. But hey, stranger things have happened. But okay, for those of you watching, the subject matter is defending the worst versions of ourselves from ourselves. It's like, who would have something to gain by our people having the absolute worst shit, uh, to to aspire to be. Basically, that's why you have a lot of these images that are pushed in the media, just basically like the non-masculine black male and the thotty, basically the girl who's gonna end up being some old cat lady who hates men. But yeah, that's who would have something to gain from something like that, from the depowerment of our community or whatever we are.
I don't know. I'm sure you could come up with a couple guesses if you work your brain a couple times, but
Yeah, yeah. Because this is when we are. Then you get into the talk of WS. Then and I mean, it is sometimes WS doesn't necessarily have a white face on it. You
No,
know,
it's very
I mean,
transformative in the way that it works currently.
yeah,
Um, of course, the branding and the trademark belongs to one person entirely, but or one group entirely. But in terms of the way that it manifests itself, it seems to have a lot of different tentacles, and so uh, these days it seems to take on the form of manipulating our own group. Sometimes they look just like me and you, and it is what it is. How do you exactly stop that? If you were to ask me, I don't have the I don't have the 100% remedy for that. I don't think any of us do. If we did, I think that this problem wouldn't exist. When you get people that talk about earlier, like you mentioned, the guy, who was it again? Not on my arm here. What's his name? Who
uh, talking about George Floyd.
George Floyd and that whole situation and how people were essentially on our in our own group, you know, uh, saying that that was justified and how it should have happened and that was the right thing to happen. And that's not to say that each situation shouldn't be looked at and justice shouldn't be rendered. However, in cases such as that, it's kind of like, dude, like you gotta do better. Like that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Let's try to be a little bit balanced.
Hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah. A little bit balanced in it all. Um, let's talk about something ridiculous for a second.
All
So,
right.
do you think rap music contributed to this thought process?
Are you asking me or everyone in the chat?
Uh, any okay. Anyone? Yeah,
Yeah, because I
you.
don't, I don't know if I should. I'm not the right guy for this one. So
Hell yeah.
yes and no. I think to a much lesser extent than people like to claim that it does.
Okay.
Yes, to a very small extent, it did contribute to
Y'all can hear me.
some of the dysfunction. What's up? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you, Arsenal God. What's going on? I was about to let you have the floor for a little bit.
Well, yeah. This, this is the thing about um the Black Lives Matter thing. I what's his name that you were just talking about now? Um,
George Floyd.
yeah, George Floyd. This is the thing about it. Why as a black community we like to have a negative image like that? This is somebody who put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly, and he's a crackhead, and these are the sort of people we celebrate in the black community. Go,
Well,
no, well,
Uh,
uh,
I'm gonna just straighten this out real quick. Number one, we did not celebrate George Floyd. What we were doing, we was demonizing the cruel act of a racist. Like yeah, yeah. Everybody can talk all that bullshit they want about what kind of man he was and how he deserved to die. And from what I hear different shit about the gun, and he might have kicked the pregnant woman in the stomach or what. That's how it was reported. But like I said, to me, and I mean to a lot of other people, racists just don't get to be racist. I'm sorry. For if you felt like Derek Chauvin did the world a favor by getting rid of George Floyd, then you're missing the entire point of anything that I've said.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, yeah, I mean, there's also that's just one of them, but
And let me also say this: George Floyd was celebrated by Black Lives Matter for profit.
oh yeah, of course,
you got it, Kev. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna get involved.
Okay.
y-
So to say that we're celebrating a crook or a criminal, that was celebrated by people who were just trying to make money. Okay.
and
My
my
thing
thing is
was,
the t-shirts going on children. You know, what I mean, I understood what it was for, but but then I'm saying is there's loads of type of George Floyds that in the community we seem to feel sorry for. I'm from the UK, by the way, but it's the same thing, yeah.
Oh, okay, UK. Okay, so you can
Yeah,
connect.
yeah. So he
So
has,
you can
he has
connect to you can connect to the experience of us Americans quite well, can't you?
well, yeah, because it obviously
Because
came. It obviously came here when
because
it hit.
God rest my grandmother's soul. I wish she can tell you some of the stories that she has told me. Like, fuck them people. I mean, shit. Whether George Floyd was a character or not, you saw the hate in that man's eyes. He'd have did it to your ass too. It's like it's just that simple. It doesn't matter whether it was George Floyd or Jacob Blake. I mean, it doesn't matter. These motherfuckers are still racist. Fuck them. Sorry. This is not this is not something that we play with around here. It's like, especially where I'm from, we got a deep history of dealing with the motherfuckers. See, my dad taught me to look the motherfuckers in the eye and give them a firm handshake. Don't give them don't give them anything. Don't give them nothing at all. So Rogish, what's going on, man?
All right.
You want to take this for a little while,
So hang on a minute. What about the lady that got killed? That one day that had a knife in her hand. Yeah. I see that you guys went mad at her. For me,
oh man, Makia Bryant? Yeah, we all, like, a lot of us agree that was fucking stupid, and you know, and that presented an imminent threat.
She gave the police an option to kill her. If you notice that you can see their sirens and that, and you're still gonna do. She went to supposed to be a fight, and she chose to pick a knife.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
she can't complain about dying for me. Yeah.
I mean, you know, you like with that situation, the officer could have possibly saved the other person.
Oh, come on. This is the thing. Because it's a lady, we say, oh, yeah, it could have. No, that woman would have died. If
Hey, dude, George Floyd didn't have a fucking knife, though. It's like for real, dude. Shit.
No, but
Look. Were you around for the Sandra Bland time? Were you around for the Sandra Bland time? All of us nutted up about that. A lot of us nutted up about Corin Gaines too. It ain't the fact that they're women or they're men. We're talking about right or fucking wrong. Okay, it's like, I mean, shit. What about Elijah McClain? What about Ahmaud Arbery? Come on now. You act like you act like okay, George Floyd was the first motherfucker ever to get killed by police, and all of a sudden black people up in a roar about shit that used to happen in the 60s. That's the context they give you on that bullshit news.
I'm not saying that the police actions are right. What I'm trying to say is this, yeah? Yeah. We kill each other more, yeah?
Hey, look.
Oh no.
Okay, but hold on. Let me take that, Kev. Let me take that,
Kev. Any of these uprisings.
Let me take that. Hold up, Arsenal guy.
Yo,
respect, mate. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand something, fam. When you coming in proximity, you are going to be the greatest eraser of that which is around you. The thing is, what we speaking of is state representatives. The black people that kill black people ain't state representatives. You feel me?
I hear what you're saying.
You hear me? You hear me? Okay, so take that into consideration. What black people mainly fight against is the state representatives that is permitted to kill black people. Yes, black people gonna kill black people in the highest because that's proximity. The same thing with Europeans, Anglos, Arabs, Americans, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. It's all the same thing. It's all an aspect of proximity. But
but Black Lives Matter was run by a group of lesbians. Yeah.
But Black Lives Matter was run by a group of lesbians based on the perspective that they're fighting for straight black men who comes into detrimental aspect of dealing with
their
website.
With the police. They don't allow black male. They don't allow black males to leave.
And see, this is where I begin to tell you that. And this is where I begin to tell you that we're way ahead of you on that one.
Right
now, I'm not wearing Black Lives Matter T-shirts and paraphernalia because I mean, shit. We probably agree on the Black Lives Matter organization if you want me to be honest, brutally honest. By the way, I mean, shit. I read that website long before a lot of people, other people did. They started talking about cisgendered and we want other people to be in leadership positions and respect our family dynamic. And it's just like it stopped being about black people being killed in the streets and more about their personal feelings. And they made a lot of money off of our deaths. A
So
lot of money.
so I'm just trying to find out what is your ultimate point, Arsenal God? Are you trying to what are you trying to say, man? Because right now you giving me some weird vibes, man. I need to figure this shit out. Cause right now it's sounding as though you're trying to justify George Floyd's death, and you're trying to say that black people kill each other more often. Like, what are you getting at, man? What are you trying to say?
Well, I think it was clear what I said. I'm saying is we seem to have empathy for 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 scumbags. I'll say it straight.
Okay.
So let this be
No, no,
known,
no, no, no,
dog.
no, no.
There's no
Like,
empathy. There's no
Hey, let her
empathy for
respond, Rose.
scumbags whatsoever in an aspect of, because I'd heard this shit. You know what I'm
drug
saying?
dealers,
Like
thugs, and all
people
this
saying,
kind
well,
of
you know
thing.
what?
Yeah,
Black people kill
we
black
see our
people all
black
the
women
time.
love
Man, how long
So
you been in this
this kind of
space?
thing, and we see the
no,
glorify
Arsenal
them.
guy, hear me out. Hear
Yeah,
me out,
every
cuz. Hear me out. Hear me out. This ain't nothing against you, dog. This ain't nothing against you. This is against the talking point of black people kill black people too. Well, you do have a sector within the black community that is against that, but that sector is not promoted nor championed like the other sectors of the black community. So it's not an aspect to where, well, black people kill black people too. So why do you get mad at the police doing or some pig politician Peckerwood or whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Nah. The thing is, those sectors of black community that is against black on black, you know what I'm saying, assault, crime, or infraction or whatever, they don't get promoted. And moreover, they actually, you know what I'm saying, get attacked themselves.
Well,
You know
Rogus
what
is
I'm
nice. Rogus is being real nice to you, bud. Because I'm gonna be honest with you.
saying?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. All right. If this was 4 years ago, I'd have hung you. Okay. Luckily, right now I only got 20 minutes to chat. But honestly, your talking point, you know where you heard it. I know where you heard it. You
well,
need to rethink where you heard that,
look,
and
I'm a
you need to
Candace. Oh, look,
rethink. You need to rethink. You need to rethink
I'm a
that
Candace
argument.
Owens fan, and I'm a conservative. I ain't gonna deny that. Yeah, I ain't
I'm
gonna
not.
change that.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not concerned about you can quote unquote conservatism. Okay, I'm just concerned where you got it from. I know where you got it from, and you know where you got it from. You know where you heard it. All right. You know you're full of shit. I don't
I'm not
know if
full of
you're
shit.
aware you're full of shit, but you are.
Look,
You need
we
to. You
have the
need to.
same issues in the UK. Yeah,
No,
I
no,
I
you
went
don't.
to school with
No,
some of
you
these
don't.
scumbags
No,
that
you
went
don't.
and went
No,
to
you don't.
sell drugs.
No,
Yeah,
you don't. You're not American. No, you don't. You don't have these same issues. Okay. Until you
we
move
have
here and you
similar
live
issues
here,
in the
no,
UK.
you have
Yes,
similar issues. You don't have the same issues. You want to talk about the same issues? You come live here. In
we
fact,
don't have race segregation. That's the only difference.
you get born here, and we can have this conversation. Until then, really, you're just talking about illusions. You don't actually know what you're talking about. You don't have a clue. All right. So it's a bit
Well, I have
upsetting.
family that live in America.
I'm
I
not
have family
trying
that
to
live in
shit on
America.
your experience. I'm not trying to shit on your experience, but the thing is that the bottom line is that there are only certain arguments I expect a person from the UK to have, and you're not from the United States, so I can't really have too much of a conversation with you. And like I said, you're getting spared. All right, I'm sparing you right now. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's just don't try not to make that same argument ever again in your life. All right.
Yeah, I'm listening. But I mean, what really gave it away is when you were like, "This black people kill black people more" bullshit. I mean, we have a problem and we have breakdowns in our community, and we talk about this shit quite often. That's why I kind of blurted out, "How long have you been in this space?" Really? We trying to get rid of the scumbags. I ain't. I'm. We're not caving for them, but at the same time, it seems to me that your argument does come from a place of ignorance. It's like if that what you were gonna go with, then you know very little, and I suggest you be a little bit more careful when you bring those kind of talking points here. Oh, you want me to share the screen with you? Okay. Well. So okay, BBC News. So all right. What point are you trying to make here? I'm gonna let you have the floor. Arsenal God.
someone that I know the person. I met the girl. Yeah, she was just at a party. Yeah, right.
Okay.
She was at a party. Yeah. And
Go
only
ahead.
in a black area this could happen. Yeah, because I've lived in rough white areas. Yeah.
I mean, go.
Hang on a minute. Let me explain.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she got shot. So this is how black people think. I've got someone in there. I hate that person. I'm just gonna shoot up the club, and that's what they did. And she got caught and got killed. Yeah.
What was she doing? What was she doing?
Yeah. Whereas for some reason, every other race they get their target. Yeah, they have gangs and they have problems in other race, but for some reason they just get the target. They don't think, oh, let me shoot up a place just because there is a guy in there that I want to kill.
All right, well, hold up, dog. Well, hold up. Do you know the history of beef over here? Hold up, bro. Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you this. What year can you recall back to that had you understanding a history of black people's beef over here with one another? In whatever pantheon, whatever framework that you wish to present it in, whether it's gang, whether it's on some neighborhood shit, some ward shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some disagreement, whatever. What year do you remember experiencing that phenomenon?
I know during the 80s, and I know about your East Coast, West Coast, yeah?
Right. Okay. So you said the 80s and the East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah. I know about your East Coast, West Coast, yeah.
Okay, so with the 80s, you're talking about that came in with the advent of
the crack period.
You know what I'm saying? The crack market, right? Okay, so you're talking about that. And then with the East Coast, West Coast. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so in comparison to how y'all work it over there in the UK, what is the difference that you observe or identify?
Well, this is where I'm going to talk and say why it's similar. I grew up in an area in Manchester called Moss Side, and they called it Gunchester. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they called it from Manchester. It was nicknamed Gunchester.
Gunchester, yeah, just like they do from Nashville to Cashville out here.
Yeah, they had about 5 different gangs. Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
right. And like I said, you had I went to
money making, pistol waving New Haven. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Alonzo.
I went to dudes that was to school with dudes that were in one was in Donington, one was in Gooch, and it was separated by a damn road. Same area,
right?
But one road called Alexander Road. It was stupid, but yeah, there you go. And they were
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Arsenal, was it started from a perspective of difference of location, or was it started from some deeper sustenance to it?
Well, the story that I got from it, that it started, and this was an elder woman that told me, there were, except for Salford, which was the white guys, yeah,
right.
The white guys they had their beef in Salford and all that kind of thing with one or two different families, especially the larger ones. But their main aim was that they used to rob banks, like.
So other people do it too, then, huh?
Or
no, that's what they used to do. Yeah, the black gang, the black gang were busy shooting each other up.
Right, but you're not. This one thing you're not understanding, Mike. What did this have to do with the cultural concept of over here in the States? Yeah. What the fuck they got to do with the cultural concept? Cause the whole thing is our shit is cultural over here. You spoke on some shit that was occurring with some pilgrims over there on y'all side of the Atlantic. So what does that have to do with the black population over there?
What I'm saying is the black population,
like
America influences other countries. You force influence in other countries.
Okay,
Right.
all right. Hey, Dark Chameleon, what's going on, man? What's going on? You want? I'm gonna let you get in
Yeah,
here for a minute.
I want to interject, man. I don't agree with the old black shit. We not black.
So should we be white? Like, what do you mean? What are you saying?
Man, should be diaspora
Nigga,
being brutally honest with
nigga,
everybody. Like,
All right.
nigga, you could be black. We copper, maybe dark. I'm the dark chameleon, so we can be
Oh,
dark.
God.
Why don't we
Look,
call ourselves
look,
Africans then? Why don't we call ourselves Africans?
look. It don't matter what you
I'm
call
not. I'm
yourself.
not
What the
from. I'm
motherfucker
not.
who run you call you, and how do they interact with you as if you are labeled? It don't
Hey,
matter what
man, you know
you
what though?
call yourself.
But Dark Chameleon, you know what though? I get your point because I figured this out in kindergarten when I looked at the black crayon and my skin wasn't the same. But I knew that there was a distinguishment. Black is black. Black is another word for like unknown. See, we're unknown to ourselves because we don't know where the fuck we're from. Like I could be from somewhere in the Congo, but I don't know that because I don't have any way to trace that shit.
Nah,
So
nigga.
black.
From this point
I got
forward,
you.
from nah, nigga.
Hold up.
From this
Hold
point
up.
forward,
Hold
I'm
up.
calling myself whiskey, bro. Fuck you.
Oh, back up. Back up. Listen, listen. Who the fuck told you? Who the fuck told you was black?
It was the
Nah,
pilgrims.
nigga,
Look, we are
hold on, nigga,
look.
it's whiskey, nigga.
No.
What you mean? It ain't black no more, nigga. It's whiskey. What you mean?
What
Hold
black?
on. Who told you it was black?
Who told you was black?
Look, Dark
Nobody
Who
did. I
Chameleon,
told
said
Dark
you
it's
that?
Chameleon,
whiskey. I
Dark
said it's
Chameleon.
whiskey.
We understand what come from the pilgrim, right? We understand all that shit. Black ain't a nationality. The true nationality is whatever
I
it
just told
is.
this man we were down since kindergarten, man. Like,
Yeah, yo, but the thing is, people don't want to take into consideration the history that we faced over here. Okay, now we made something of black. No, black is not a landmass. Black is not a nationality. But
And black is not
we
African. Black
forced
is not
so
African.
much we forced so
Listen,
much spirit into it, where black became a perspective that is organic.
hey, you know what though? The history of black actually came from James Brown. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, because we were called colored, we were
I'm
got
black.
nigger, we were called nigger, we were called all kinds of shit. So,
Hey,
you know,
listen. And black ain't African.
Of course not, because we're not African.
I'm just telling you.
Black is
Hey,
black. Black ain't
listen.
African. Black is black.
I'm
That's one of
giving
the
it. I'm giving it to the slow folk. Listen,
no. But we want you to give it to us in a
Yeah, man, help
perspective
me.
that adds on to what it is that we're speaking of.
Yeah,
What
help
does
me
that
out.
have to do with anything?
well, because I think 85% of the humans on our plane are indoctrinated to think that black people came from Africa.
Yo, how much? I mean, we did, but how much? How much have you had to drink tonight, sir? Are you okay to drive?
Hey, guess what? I'm a
You sound
G.
like thought.
I'm a G.
It
I'm a
sound like thought. Oh
hey,
God,
motherfucking.
hey, look,
I'm a
hey,
motherfucking G, nigga.
hey, yeah,
I'm a
Are you okay?
motherfucking G. I
yeah,
can do
but
what the fuck I want to.
okay,
Plug the fuck out, and I
Dark Chameleon,
smoke, and I'm
hey,
about to roll up,
hey,
nigga. Why you playing?
hey,
I
well,
was
puff,
just
puff,
being
fast,
humble. I'm a humble
puff,
nigga.
fast, puff, fast. Like I'm with you on that, man.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
hear
gonna
you.
roll up too.
I'm
Go
with
yeah.
you
ahead,
on
cuz.
that, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas get
Roll
me
up,
all
bro.
wrapped up.
Yeah, but still though,
Shit.
Dark Chameleon, I got a question for you. What you think should be the proper labeling?
The proper labeling of what?
I mean, you're saying we're not black. I mean, there has to be an alternative. I mean, yeah, if I'm going to say something's not something, I got the right answer, to what it is, correct?
Well,
We
Are we
thugging it
brown?
out.
Then? Are we brown?
No. We thugging it out, bro. We all whiskey now, bro. That's the new move.
Oh, whiskey. All
Are we
right.
brown?
Yeah.
Well, drinks on up then.
You niggas trying to be silly with me.
No, it
Oh,
ain't
I
that.
get
Nah,
it.
bro.
Oh, yeah,
See,
yeah.
despite what they
Nah,
trying to
bro.
be, and despite what they're trying to be, I asked you a question, so I mean, it is what it is. If you think
Well,
I'm
I'm
trying to
rum
be
then.
silly
I'm
with
rum.
you,
I love drinking rum. I'm rum. I'm rum.
rum, you're rum.
Or I can be
Okay,
vodka.
well, you be what you want to be. Good, Nick. We accept you. But Dark Chameleon, I asked you a question. What do you think the proper labeling should be?
Why should I tell you? I know the answer to the question. But
Okay,
what? Give me a reason why should I give you that answer?
because I'm the host and I asked it.
Okay. I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. You know why I'm gonna give it to you?
Yeah.
Because I'm an asshole and I don't give a fuck. And
All
that's
right.
this. Okay. The answer is
Nigga, we all on the short bus today, goddamn.
Well, we
no,
wouldn't
no, no short bus shit. Dude, listen. The thing is we don't know the proper answers to your question, and we gonna do whatever we feel like doing, and I mean that as a mass.
Yeah, I know. We the extra color you get in the crayon box, goddamn. We special, motherfucker. Like that's what we are, motherfucker. Apparently.
Hey,
Like
hey,
that's what we are tonight, goddamn. Holy shit.
yeah. Hey,
Okay.
hey, it is what it is. Hey,
All right.
I'm not you can't call me a liar, goddamn it.
All right, fam. I feel you. All right, man. Like, I'm not I get it. I get it.
He on one.
Shout out to Theus Johnson, Raven Knight. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in tonight. And like I said, make sure y'all press a like on the way in. Hurry up and buy Mr. 7. All right. Cool. Y'all showed up. And Theus Johnson, to answer your question, is that we're defending the worst of ourselves from ourselves. And what really brought this subject to for me to bring this subject to a broadcast is because of the fact that in order to defend black women from the vile words of Monique telling them not to wear bonnets and house slippers in public, brothers want to do this shit. Now, this is going to be the fun part of the program where we all come together. And,
Whoa. Are you not going to attack Kevin Samuels, are you?
No.
Oh, good.
But I'm going to show you the kind of guy that calls Kevin Samuels all those bad names. So I'm going to share the screen. Attention. All right. Let me see. Let's have a little fun.
Yo, Kel, a mixture of Boo and Thanos, Majin Buu and Thanos in your moniker.
Say what?
Is that a mixture of Majin Buu and Thanos?
No, that's just somebody they did a little baby Thanos. So that's all that is.
Almost look like Majin Buu a little bit.
Yeah, man. I just thought that picture was super funny for special reasons. But yeah.
Oh God, why are you doing this one?
Yeah, because we're black men. We got to talk about the 3D bonnet that Ludacris put on this picture here.
Okay. So this is the thing. Okay, wait. So that he actually ain't wearing that. So they said somebody said in Dr. Gigi's panel. Shout out Green Gorilla, that this was a Photoshop.
Yeah, it has to be a Photoshop because it looks like this is a hat right here.
That's a damn good Photoshop. Whoever did that. Yeah, that's very good.
It is.
Yeah. And the fact he got the shirt on, they got the context.
He's wearing a cap. He's wearing a cap, and somebody's put that thing over his head.
Yeah, but why do it in the first place? I mean, it's on his Instagram. Because he was protecting young black women from Monique. You know, it's like, she played Precious's mom.
But I mean a minute. Why? I don't understand why there's this thing. She's saying that black women should start wearing certain things out, and I think that it kind of. I've seen black women kind of turn up at school in their night clothes. Like it's ridiculous.
I mean, but still, does that make it a good representation? Does it make that like I said, that is not a good representation. All right, because like I said, we stay on brothers who sag their pants, and I spent about a good little bit of this broadcast talking about how ridiculous that was. So, yeah, so like Monique, it's funny to me how Monique said that if you want the title of queen, you're gonna have to carry yourself a little bit like you earned the title. Look what this guy says.
Well, I agree. I fully agree with her point because it seems like I don't, for one, we're not queen. For me, I don't believe in this queen and king goddess nonsense. Yeah,
I'm a,
but
I'm a, I'm a.
I'm saying, if you're gonna call yourself a queen, you have to kind of thing. Can you imagine the Queen of England, showing her bits out?
I
Right,
mean,
exactly.
I guess I have to try to, because you're
You have
from
to
there.
understand it because, like, the black
Yeah.
community, it's like anybody can be. You can be a tramp on the street and be a queen. Where does it?
Okay, so
Yes.
Arsenal. Where do you think that comes from?
Man,
The phenomenon.
This queen king comes from the Pan African. Yeah, these Pan Africans have come.
Bullshit. No, it don't come from the Pan African because motherfucker wasn't embracing it when the Pan African was presented. The Pan African was presenting brother, sister.
It does come from the Pan African society.
No, hear me
It
out.
used
I'm
so
letting you know,
heavily.
cuz I used to be part of, you know what I'm saying, that community. All African people's political party. You know what I'm saying?
That
So
motherfucker, that motherfucker Theus Johnson, he was protecting his hair.
And this is the thing. There is this is the thing why feminist is so strong because we don't allow women accountable for anything.
so
Yeah,
so
I
so
mean,
so 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 in the
No, that's what
UK,
we don't allow them to be accountable
I'm
for any
okay.
action they do.
I Arsenal. I'm assuming you're in the UK, right? You're
Yes,
in
I
the
am.
yeah,
UK.
you said that. Yeah.
All right. So how much okay, so on a scale of 1 to 100%, what percentage of the bullshit that our women over here is having to endure from the system that y'all women over there is dealing with?
What percentage that what with this queen is it in relation to this queen goddess thing?
Right. Like look at this nigga right now that he got on here right now. Right? This,
Yeah,
this
there is women.
he ain't showing solidarity. This motherfucker actually owns that, you know what I'm saying, that shit prior to all this shit that kicked off. Right? So in
Yeah,
the aspect of y'all women being, you know what I'm saying, battery charged up as far as it goes for any perspective of their worth associated with any aspect of ratchetness.
Here's the same, and this is the thing. You will see them wear certain things, and if you know, what I mean, if you look at them and they don't, if they don't take a liking to you, they make a problem out of it, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, you're dressed a certain way, and you expect me not to look at you.
Right.
You know what I mean? There is this like also this entitlement that somehow
Okay, but are the women presenting themselves in a form to where you reflexively respond as if they're lesser? Reflexively.
What do you mean when you say reflexively? For me, I look at them like I treat them like I treat any other race of woman. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a no. That's a no. Because in the aspect of reflexively, in the dealing with the type of character perspective that we're dealing with black women over here, it's reflexively response of damn near being not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, rejected, but more like repugnant. Because the way that they're presenting themselves is at lower sustenance status. Is the women in the UK, or I don't know if it's the women or if it's the black women, you know what I'm saying, what type of chick you pursue, are they presenting themselves in a lower status of sustenance, of overall character sustenance, social character sustenance?
Are they put? You mean to say are they presenting themselves in a kind of a low standard, kind of low grade?
Right.
I would say the black women are, yes.
Ah, bomber clat. Damn.
No, I would say that. Yeah, I would say literally. I mean, yesterday I was today's Saturday. Yesterday I was walking in the shopping center and this girl, this young woman is walking with her child, but she, as far as I'm concerned, she might as well almost have been walking without, from what you could see most of her breasts.
Okay. Now, was she? And
Now,
she's
literally,
from what? Would from what you observed of her? Was she from? Was she from directly from the UK? Perhaps maybe from the Caribbean, having been there about two,
I
three
would say, I would
years.
say, I would say that she was born UK here. I don't know what her parents are.
Right.
Her parents might be African. Her
Right.
parents might be Jamaican. It's not easily tellable necessarily,
Right.
but I would say that she's definitely born here because she had a son, and the son is probably about say 6 or something,
Right.
or 7. And I just looked and I said,
How old was she?
I would say that she was probably about maybe 19 or something.
Oh, okay. And you surprised though at a 19-year-old
Or
operating like that?
19, 20 maybe. I might be a little bit
Are
off.
you surprised at a 19-year-old operating as such?
She got a
She got a kid. Yeah, she got a kid.
yeah.
But she's also 19.
Well, this is the thing. I think she might. To be fair, I think she might have been older, but because, yeah, I mean, because I often get it wrong. So, and
Right.
when I ask them, they'll say that they're 23 or 24 and thank you or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, my spot eye is that I think that she might be 19, 20, 21. But I was because I'm thinking I might. I've seen it before, but I'm just saying that I was just looking and I was just thinking, like, wow. I know it's summer and it's hot, but I was just like, it's just not a good look because this is the thing about it. If those women have done you approach them and they expect you to approach them and deal with them like a queen.
Right.
Nah, she's a hoe. You move forward. It is what it is. But anyhow,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
listen.
Obviously,
Hold on.
I didn't go to talk to her because she
Hold on,
wears
fam. Hold on, fam. Listen, man. Hold on. You said Queen Latifah was coming out with these bonnet pictures. Who was it again? I can't remember.
It wasn't Queen
Yeah.
Latifah.
You
Who
say
was it?
Dana, not Dana.
No. Who was it that came out and put this shit on about being disappointed? I can't remember her name. I always
Are you
forget.
talking about Monique?
Monique, yeah, she's the last one that should be, probably doing this in terms of, her own history when it comes to bonnet pictures. You know what I mean? Like, because she done had a couple of them her damn self.
But she didn't repent it. She didn't repent it.
Yeah, well, she's a fucking hypocrite. I don't know. But it's better than nothing at the end of the day. But god damn, man, like, man, this is a disaster all
It is.
around, all around. And this motherfucker, look at this picture, taking a picture with this son in the frame, like that's some shit to be proud of. Like, come on, bro.
Yes.
Got your son smiling,
Thank you,
bro.
mother.
Come on, man.
Thank you, mother. We going to the
Pink
grocery
shirt.
store in our bonnets. Like,
Yo,
dumbass dude, man.
yo, but see, this is the thing, though. The fact that they know they going to get a positive response from this bullshit, and the fact that they didn't even probably think about it. It was probably a reflexive, automated response for them to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it really was. This was in the hind brain. You see, they got a lot of these motherfuckers. In fact, I would say like around 80 to almost even higher. I'd actually argue probably about 90% clip of the black male community in America are essentially, brainwashed. It is what it is. These motherfuckers are servants to do black women's bidding. And it is what it is. So what are you gonna
This
do?
nigga here,
Well,
It's to be expected.
in the black community, there's far too much simping. It's at a ridiculous level.
No. It's not that it's far too much simping. No. Hear me out. It's that real motherfuckers ain't getting the acknowledgement because it's just as much reality, red pillism, and realism out here as it is as the sympathy. And I really think it's actually more the red pillism. The only thing is
All right.
it's not championed.
Hold on. To what extent do you think motherfuckers is really out here about that life? What do you think? Give me a percentage, because I actually believe the complete opposite, and I believe it's at a 90% clip. I have a very grim outlook.
Damn.
Yeah,
I
think it's.
what do you say? Hey, what's up? What's going on,
I
man?
think a lot of these motherfuckers are out here blue pill. I think that the vast majority of black men are blue pill, and they actually operate based on the gynocratic worldview, and they see their mothers in a lot of these women.
And this is the goddamn evidence right here. We've already established that it's a very small percentage of us that are on that red pill shit for real.
Well, no, hold on. But Rogan, hold on. But Rogan said the opposite. So I'm like, okay, to what extent?
Now look. The percentage I was speaking of was
around 50. Down. Like, about it. We'll go all the way.
The percentage I'm speaking of was around 55% of cats. All right. So that leads. So it's still a light percentage, but it's still a greater.
Okay. All right. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. And the only reason I say this is because I'm actually hearing red pill ideology in areas to where I wouldn't think that I would hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been privy to red pill ideology ever since its inception, the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I've only been partaking probably last 3 years or whatever. But the circles that I'm part of outside of all of this, I'm hearing this resonate there. Mm. So if I would have assumed that it was around maybe 40% at the time when I came around to it, 3 years later and post KS, we have to acknowledge. I mean, because I've encountered cats from the grassroots, pro-black community, who are expounding these perspectives.
Okay, so maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't interact.
I'm tied into the underground, cuz. So I'm letting you know they are expounding these perspectives, and usually within the grassroots group of conscious community, whatever, it's merely only Nation of Islam and the Hebrew Israelites that have that type of authority over their home that red pill dudes adhere to.
Right.
You feel me?
So in practice, we're talking about a small clip, but in actual
the Nation of Islam and the kind of Israelites, they're black pill, aren't they?
It's not that they black pill. No. Is that they call their women into a proper accountability, and the women actually adhere to it, not based off of threat, duress, or coercion or anything, but actually based upon them, leaning into the principle. So this is why I say within that community, they are the, the chief ones that have the closest linking to a parallel perspective of red pillism.
They're loosely linked. So, yes. The red pill is very loosely, I would say not very, but they're loosely linked to each other to some extent. So, the Hebrew Israelites and the NOI and all those groups, Black Panther, et cetera, et cetera. Right. They're going to be some ties when it comes to these family values that we hold and that we talk about here, and some of the ideologies that we share. Because honestly, these are mostly conservative values,
right?
And it is. That's why I'm a conservative supporter, because being conservative means it's kind of traditional.
But that's the thing.
No, it depends on what you mean by that. Yeah.
It's more. But that's the thing. It's more traditional, and that's the reason why more cats is aligning themselves with it. It's not the conservativeness in it. It's the traditional. It's the inadvertent alignment to the assumptual foundational. You know what I'm saying? There is an assumed foundation that cats believe that we're supposed to be operating from, and in the aspect of red pillism, this space operates from that. So hence why it's not just with our community that we're making waves with. We're making waves in other people's community, because I've seen many a pilgrim in their blog shares where you see that they're showing Black manosphere red pillism perspective.
No.
When you talk about black
Kevin
pill,
Samuel's a perfect example of that.
yeah.
A lot of white dudes agree with what Kevin Samuel says, even though he mostly does it to a black
They don't
audience.
agree. They have to. They can't. You can't deny Kevin Samuels, or else you'll be you outright showing yourself as a hoe. What the fuck is he presented that don't have no integrity within it? So anybody that goes against it, you're lacking integrity from the jump. It don't matter if it's from a black man's perspective or whatever.
Well, to be fair, to be fair, all women go against it. But at the end of the day, there are a couple things point out here. So the groups that you mentioned earlier, none of them are associated with black pill per se. There are very few people within any of these spheres who are quote unquote black pill. It's only a handful of people, and you can probably count them on one or two hands. And they generally don't control most of the manosphere dialogue. We do have, our talks, and we do, come up on these panels and converse with, you guys in these groups, because we do have some overlap with the red pill spheres. But the truth is that, in terms of black pill, that's a whole nother subject. You're talking to, me and a couple other people within the space, BGS and couple other people, and we're black. We're actual black pills. We're not.
Islam and the Hebrew Israelites.
No, they're not black pill. No,
they're not black pill.
They're more red pill than black pill.
Okay.
All right, guys. I have a question for y'all. All right. No, look at the young man on the screen. Why? Because I had to look at this motherfucker too. But
I thought it was a woman. It's only
look. All this nigga had to do was wear the bonnet. This show you how bitch made this motherfucker is. Right? All he had to do was wear the bonnet and put the goddamn caption up there. But no, look at the way this nigga holding his glass. He look like he's finna go to a motherfucking what's that party? Olivia Pope TV show party. He look like is that a fucking robe that he's wearing, or is that a hoodie?
I don't know the fuck this dude doing, but
you know what I mean?
The big day.
and he make light-skinned niggas look real bad. So you know what I'm saying? Any light-skinned niggas paying attention to this shit?
Hey man, why you gotta do me like that, bro?
Real talk, cuz.
Hey, is he protecting black women by doing this?
Hey man, y'all can have him, man. He full black now. Y'all got him. He's a part of y'all group. He don't get to represent the light skinned niggas no more. He out. He out.
Let me see what he says in this caption. Fashionably tardy, but I'm here to stand with my queens as well.
Get your bitch ass out of here. Hey, get this.
What is the thing about it? These black women would love this. They're like, yeah, he's a champion. But the thing is, the joke is that none of them would sleep with him though. That's the whole part.
Well, that's the thing. It's all for social media. It's just social media clout. No, there's no way that they're going to sleep with no cat like that. Because the thing is, they respond as they're supposed to the organic. What them motherfuckers is doing with bonnets on and nigga holding wine glasses and shit, they ain't nothing. That's nothing black men organic about that shit. So, but the thing is, it does hold politic, you know what I'm saying, sustenance within it, and they're going to go along with it for that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know what I'm saying, them clown ass niggas put out them images that they did. You know what I'm saying? So,
Dark Chameleon left, didn't he?
Yeah, man, he dipped out. He was drunk, man.
He did.
Yeah, you can't be a dark chameleon in a lighted room. Like so.
So let me ask you something, Arsenal God. In the regard of how we'll say the sisters acting around there, would you say it's due to feminism? In the regards of the ill perspectives that you're defaulted to have to engage them with?
Yeah, well, third wave feminism is what spoiled Europe.
Third wave, right?
Yeah, third wave feminism. Because feminism when it
And
was
hold
first
up, hold up. And what is third wave for the UK?
third wave feminism is the same like it in America, where they believe they can do everything. They believe that they can work, be a mother, do everything, and basically it is that they don't accept this housewife. Yeah,
Right.
so it means to say that for them, being submissive to a man is being slave. But the
Right.
joke about it and the hypocritical side of it is that they only respect men who earn more than them.
Right. So in that
So
regard, are you speaking of UK women as a whole or UK women of your ethnicity?
I would say UK. I would say UK woman. I would say UK woman in of my ethnicity, black, but it
Right.
is there. It is there in other races, but it's more prevalent. Seems to be in the black community. I don't think that the other communities make such a big deal of it.
Right.
But in the black community, because just like how I think it was in the 80s in America,
Yeah.
or 90s, yeah, where they said that basically if they work, anything they work and earn is theirs. Anything you work and earn, half of it is theirs. Yeah, they had the same sort of mentality, but then that comes down to fathers spoiling their daughters. If you understand what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, because one of those I met, I had to block her and get rid of her because what it is that her father, even though she's a big adult, her father still pays her mobile bill. Yeah,
Right.
so she expects a man to do that, and it's literally that. If you pay for your if you don't if you pay for your daughter when she's an adult, you pay for certain things. She expects that from a man. Yeah,
Right.
Hey,
Right.
she
real
expects
quick.
that another man is going to take on and do what a father did, not realizing that your father's your father. Yeah, and
Mm.
really and truly, from you should have probably stopped paying for her from the age of bloody 16.
Yeah. Hey, hold on real quick. Shout out to the Roger Report Live. That's my habitual line stepper brother. Long live the
Long live.
habitual line steppers.
Long live.
Shout out, shout out.
Yeah, and you know that cat, he has the best show on social media Monday through Friday morning.
But only in the morning, though, right? Only in the morning.
Good morning. I mean, don't know about the weekend nights, but you know, just
Yeah, so very interesting, Arsenal. So would you say that the perspective of feminism that the women of your community partake of is primarily of, you know what I'm saying, US source, or is it UK source?
I would say US source. Because let's face it, I think
I'm not touching that.
the feminism movement, the feminism movement started in America,
Right.
Oh,
then
okay.
do you even know your own history? Feminism, it was blueprinted by a black woman named Anne Marie Stewart, but it translated into women's suffrage by the Stanton sisters, Elizabeth
Right.
Cady Stanton. The concept of female domination in feminism itself, however, comes from a Dutch woman named Wilhelmina Drucker. The concept, the term feminism was coined, I think, either by a European man or a Canadian man. Um, so there would be a lot more detail in just saying that black women, feminism came from black women, because you have to understand the history of such.
no, I didn't say that. I'm not
Uh,
saying feminism came. It came from
it
white
came from
women.
America. You said it came from America. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it came from American
So-
white women, and what I gather is that
Yeah,
what I do
but
know this is that the black American woman, the white woman came to the black American woman when they were married and happy and doing the well and doing the best, and they said to them, "Oh, being in slavery, marriage is slavery, basically. You know what I mean? You want to be free and do what you want to do, yeah, just as a way to get numbers, because white people are good at that. They will tell you bullshit to get into your to get you on their side. I went to a white school. I know them.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Where did you learn this stuff, man? Where did you pick all this info? Where did you get this knowledge at? Like, I'm curious. Did they teach this to you in school? Like, where did you learn this? Did you like did you do scholarly work after school? Like, how did you find this out?
I find this by my research. It didn't teach me that about the feminism. I didn't learn feminism in school. Yeah, in England they teach you the proud British history and all this kind of shit, which is also filtered with some lies, like they tell you about Winston Churchill, or make Winston Churchill look like he's somebody good when he was slaughtering people in North Africa. And they, you know, I mean, obviously they promoted Adolf Hitler as this evil world, this evil person, but yet made him, and they promoted what do you call him?
Yeah, but in terms of like,
Christopher Columbus and all that.
Yeah, but in terms of like feminism and whatnot, like where did you learn all that at? Like, did you research this? Like, where did you find this out at?
I researched feminism when the internet first came about, for public use.
Kind of behind, sir, the curve. I used to observe. I used to observe feminism on mainstream television back in the '80s. Like they had this organization called NOW, and the NOW stood for the National Organization for Women. And then this is when you start hearing a lot of this anti man diatribe start floating around. Then they use the talk show. They use the talk show scene to uh, spread the same narratives. They use Cosmopolitan magazine to spread the same narratives of men bad, women good. And but when it got to black women real strong, which Dorothy Pittman Hughes, the lady with the afro that was standing in the photo pumping fists with Gloria Steinem, uh, that was the introduction of it to black women, and all of a sudden it's like the black male was no longer good enough anymore, that somehow we were oppressing them from opportunity and education when we never did such.
No, I wasn't it also that was the same time that introduced the welfare system, and then black women decided that they didn't need black men anymore.
Which is that's a highly debatable issue because
When I say when I say that, I mean to a sense that they you know what I mean. They start having this attitude because it's like, oh, I don't care if you leave, because guess what? I mean, especially like in America where they can claim child support, and then if you have a job, they can they can make you pay child support. You know what I mean?
okay,
So
okay,
it gave him a power. It gave him that power of strength to get rid of you, which it was designed for. That was designed to do, to get the man out of the house. Yeah. So they treat you a certain way. You get to a point where you can't take it no more. So then you leave your wife, you leave your kids. Yeah.
I can't. Listen, man. Listen, man. You gotta stick to. This is what I would recommend for you, bruh. Stick to your history. Explain that to us, because that would help more than you trying to explain our history to us.
because you sounding kind of we would probably need to be more educated on what's going on your side of the green. But
all right, then I can talk about when I was going to school. I ain't gonna lie, I found that
Hey, hold on one second. Shout out to BGS Itmore. He's in the building, and
Respect.
also Enhance Utility. Thank you for coming by as well. So go ahead, Arsenal.
Shout out to BGS.
So when I was going to like I said, when I was going to school, I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't really aware of this feminist thing. It was only when I kind of grew older, like I said to you, when the internet first came about, because that was when I started to go to college. That was the old 56K modems, 3.3K of 56K modems came in, and the internet was like, it would take you forever to thing that dial up internet. And that's when I started. What I found, which I talk about in what I found with the black girls, was that they were always. I found they were angry, yeah. And like I said, for me, I found I started to notice how when I started to go to white school, I went to a black school, and then when I went to a white school, I found that the white girls were different. I found that they were friendlier, and then
Shout out, we kill dragons.
Huh?
It's a brother
I
in the space.
can't with you, Rogus.
No, but yeah,
No, don't even do that.
For
No,
me,
stop.
For me, I got the I felt the feminism more from black women anyway.
Right.
This kind of feminist attitude more from black women than I would say from white women. Not to say that there wasn't one or two white women or any other race.
So where would you say the attitude come from? Because over here, we say the attitude, you know what I'm saying, of us is come from, you know what I'm saying, being within this system and them choosing to not go the route of the more convenient character to express within, you know what I'm saying, family, relation, union, and all that. Where does it come from with y'all? We can say we can holler slavery over here. All right, we can holler that shit. Where does y'all woman's disagreeableness come from?
Their disagreement, for me, the disagreement comes from the fact that of I would point that out to how, and you could actually turn back to feminism. The law, basically, yeah, which is that basically the women, the women know that they could do things and get away with it. For example,
not having to hold themselves to a semblance of accountability.
For example, I used to do something what's called pirate taxing, which is pirate taxing is basically taxing illegally.
Right.
I never got caught for it, but there was an incident where I remember I didn't see it myself, but I turned on the scene, and this black girl had she didn't like the price she heard, so she got her heel. She took her shoe off her heel and hit the guy in his head. All I saw when I came and I arrived and I parked my car was I saw the woman apologize to the guy for a friend. They left her friend. She was with I think she was with, if I remember, another mixed race girl. It was a black girl. She was another with a mixed race girl and a black girl. It's the first time I've ever seen it, because women usually stay together, yeah.
Right.
And they walked and left her to face the music. They were so embarrassed, but we saw. So the police.
Where did she hit him in his head with the heel?
Bro, I don't even know what the fuck we're on about right now. I'm lost as fuck.
No, I'm saying,
what are we talking about? Hold on a minute.
We're talking about the law here. So the police came. Yeah, hang on. Yeah. No, let me finish. The police came.
I heard something about a heel.
The police came, and they let her off because they said that she's gonna say that you were pirating and yeah.
Right.
So
right.
And it was a man and a woman, yeah. Police officer came, yeah. And that's when that showed that it was. And my own personal experience too. I remember, I was, when you're young and you say stupid. So I saw a woman and I thought I asked her if she was pregnant because and I had, at the time I didn't, obviously, when you're learning, you don't, you know what I mean. So I had drinks thrown over me, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I was the one thrown out the club. So that showed you that you could effectively get whatever you want, whatever the hell done to you,
right? And
you'd be thrown out,
right?
And I said that to the doorman. I said, "Hang on a minute, I've got drinks thrown over my white shirt and this and that, and I'm the one thrown out the club, and they're out. What? Just simply because they did." So then that's where you knew that.
So how difficult is it for you getting this perspective delivered to your brethren?
Well, my auntie told me, and what that. So my auntie told me that this is a woman's country, yeah. So if we really,
the UK, Bumbleclad.
No. My auntie told me. My aunt Cynthia, God bless her, she's not alive now, but she told me. She said to me that it's a woman's country. She said, right now, if I say anything now, they'll come and think, and it's true. You know, I mean, just like here, just like in America, there's many brothers that are locked up because of something that a woman said.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, a woman makes a claim and starts saying these things. Example: domestic violence. A lot of the time, where a claim is made domestic violence,
Right.
it's the woman that's done it. Yeah, but yeah, she will call the police once you react and defend yourself.
So is there a lot of Me Too going on out there?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you have the Me Too. Yeah, you have the Me Too. Yeah, the Me Too came over here too. Yeah, and I know it was started. It was started by a black sister, but it only went somewhere when white people got hold of it.
Fact.
But yeah,
I started by KRS-One.
Came out, man.
I don't remember the name. I don't remember the name of the lady, but I remember because I watched a show. She was this big fat black woman.
Whoa, that's the sound of the police.
I know it was this big fat ugly black woman, ugly as hell, that started the Me Too movement, and she you know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, I can see why you started the Me Too movement.
Like, not me. Ain't gonna like that's just
So in the aspect of defending the worst version of ourselves, you be on the outside looking in. Would you be able to give an unbiased assessment of your circumstance over there in the UK and ours over here in the US and gauge which one is actually worse?
On this assessment, America is, I would say, especially how your women treat you, is worse. Yeah,
right.
And it's worse. Let me say this because in America you could obviously, because you have more access to guns. You get access to guns here if you go to the right pub or you know what I mean, you talk to the right if you really look
well hold up Arsenal. I understand you bringing up guns, your name is Arsenal God and everything, but the thing is, that's the extreme, cuz
I'm saying just because of the fact that you know what I mean, in the UK it's mixed, people are mixed kind of, yeah,
right.
You don't really have mixed going on in America, right, if I'm correct?
Right. Well, you got you got mixtures going on over here. Really? You must say, look, I'm gonna let you know. Go on YouTube and look at some of the commercials that they put on. You know what I'm saying? Certain
no, what I'm saying is you have mixed. What I'm saying is, from what I gather and what I've been told, because I'm family, is that in general, yeah, you don't have it. You only have it in one or two areas, but in general.
Wait, what?
All right,
see, this is where we need BGS. Hey, BGS. BGS,
Yes.
come on up and school this brother if you there.
No. Let me give you an example. In London, it's a mixed. In Birmingham, it's mixed. Yeah. In Manchester, it's mixed. Yeah. They're the three big cities. Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay, it may be mixed, and there may be a low percentage of mixation going on, if that's a word. But the thing is, the representation of it is not in low percentage. It is, you know what I'm saying? Here, they're actually enhancing that imagery to the point to where, you know what I'm saying, department stores, like okay, so what is the most subtle aspect that you've noticed them promoting the mixture going on in the UK?
But wait, hold on. Wait. I don't even understand the point he was trying to get to with that statement. What are you trying to say? I don't understand, like, the mix. Like, what are you trying to say, bro? Like, hold on.
So, PK, what you're saying is you're at square one.
I'm at square one. Help me. Help me to understand, bro. Help me.
Let me make a better example. Yeah, in your black areas, yeah, you have a floodline of black businesses. Yes.
No.
No, and you have in America you have a lot of black you have black billionaires and you have a lot of black millionaires.
Okay. All right. What? Yeah, sure. All right. Let's run with that. let's run with that. Okay,
What the
let's
fuck?
run with it. We're gonna run. We're gonna run. We're gonna run with it. Where are you
Yeah, let's
going?
go. Let's go. Let's
Where are
go.
you going? Help me.
So all right then, right, let me land. Whereas here, yeah, you have a few maybe black millionaires, but I'm saying in America, it's like
Yeah, we're all over the
because
place,
of what
right?
I'm
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
they're
but
all
go
over
where
the
you going?
place.
Go where you going? Go where you going? Yeah,
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 yeah, you have black millionaires all over the
yeah,
place
yeah,
in
yeah.
America.
We're everywhere, man. Uh huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
so
go
you
where you
have
going?
chains of this and chains of that. For example, you've
Okay.
got
What's this got to do with mixing? I don't understand. Help me. Help
so
me.
so the point is that I'm saying is you have you still have
Are they all
uh,
mixed? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm saying that you have quote unquote black areas, yeah, and then
Okay.
you have white and quote unquote white areas, yeah, in
Right.
Okay.
America, right?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is you from what I gather and from what I know, you don't have a lot of mixing in the US.
So what it is, you're speaking of an assumed integrity of racial coupling, right? Because
Yes.
that okay. So what is it that you are viewing within the United States that will have you to come to that conclusion, or would have you to come to that assumption?
Well, no, I don't even give a fuck about that. What are you trying to say about that? I don't understand what you're getting at. Like, you're making the statement, but there wasn't any sort of, like, is there a punchline to this? Like, where's the joke? I don't understand. Like, what are we getting at? Like, what are you saying? Like, is it just like they're mixed people? Like, the end? Like, what are you saying? Like, there's not a lot? Like, we killed them all? Like, what are you saying? I don't
No,
understand.
I
Help.
did make my point. I said that you have limited mixing in America. Yeah,
Okay, then what?
yeah, yeah. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. Whereas I'm saying in the UK, this is what people attracts people to the UK is that this mixing. Yeah, like people come from Russia, people come from Poland, people come, yeah, because where
oh, you're trying to say that the UK. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, stop me if I'm wrong. What you're trying to say is that the UK is the real melting pot and that America isn't. Is that what you're saying? Is that you guys mixed there? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, mixing is normal. Don't get it twisted. You have white areas, yeah.
You know what
Like
though?
for example,
You know what though? What I can say is I watched Lupin on Netflix, and the main
and so
character is
so we go
black,
out to
and they
Newcastle.
made it in the UK, and well, not in the UK, they made it in France actually, and like his white wife and his maybe white girlfriend, both of them are white. So
Hey man,
yeah,
I hate to break it to you. Arsenal guys says they're mixed. All right, so bottom line is they're mixed. All right, they're
okay.
not really
No,
black.
no, I'm saying mixing goes on. So I'm saying is, for example, yeah, Devon is mostly white areas. You'll see one or two black people there, yeah.
Right.
That's an example, yeah. Um, you know what I mean? Middlesbrough is mostly white people, so you know what I mean. In Middlesbrough, you have you have where you have the ghetto white people live there, yeah. I
Right.
don't know that. Just like how you have ghetto white people that live in Texas, isn't it? You have areas of Texas.
Hell yeah.
You have
All right.
areas of Texas in America where it's white and you have rednecks in it. I mean, it's just,
Hey, hold
All
up. We
right.
got what up,
We
Herbert?
we
Hey,
got
what's
Herbert
going
up here. Yeah, shout out to Conscious Moron and Adam in the chat. Thanks for joining. What up, Herbert Lewis? What's going
Hey,
on?
what's going on? What's going on, fellas? I just want to see if I can give the brother a lifeline. I think what he's talking about in terms of as BGS terms of
Help me.
mixture, I think what he's talking about is the fact that if you look at American culturally in terms of how we reproduce, we still reproduce along ethnic lines. And I think what he's saying is if you look at the way the UK is set up, that their mixture rate is probably a little bit higher than ours, just because we tend to self-isolate. If you look at all
that's true.
ethnic groups, we tend to stay among our own. That's just the way we are.
Okay, all right, that's fair, but I think that then that kind of goes against his original premise that America and the UK are somehow linked and are somehow exactly the same to some extent. It's
Well, they
kind
are
of
linked in
weird.
a lot of ways. You have
To
women that
compare
behave,
us is kind of
no,
funny,
you have women that behave like your women in America, but I would say that unbalanced because of certain things and guns and all these things like that. Your women are going to be more violent, yeah.
See, but
Huh?
BGS did tell us this
Because
morning.
when you have
Remember that the
when it's easy, when
phenomenon
you're in
is
the
not
country,
a Black American woman thing.
It's not.
It's an environmental thing, and the fact that you see it reflected globally shows you that it's just you're interacting with a whole lot more than just, you know what I'm saying, exclusively, you know what I'm saying, our women.
Well, the one thing we have to be conscious of is that the one thing that America exports more than anything else is our culture. And I
Exactly
think
right.
that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
that
Your culture is so ingrained even in the UK society. Yes.
right.
Yeah,
So
that's the product of the United States. The United States is the company, and Americanism is the culture that the company projects out to, you know what I'm saying, world market.
right. So when you look at it from that aspect, I can understand what he's saying. The thing about it is it's let's look at it like this. It would be akin to somebody trying to penetrate the continent of Africa and they don't know the continent well enough to get inside. So the only thing that's going to really be penetrated is the periphery, and I think that's what he's getting at.
Okay,
Right.
that helps a lot, man. I appreciate you coming
Yeah,
here and telling me that, Herbert, because he wasn't getting there, man. I was poking and prying, man, trying to get it, and
no,
I just
but
couldn't get
all
it.
right, Africa, we can say another continent, yeah. But we can say that's mostly black, yes,
Right.
yeah. There is, even though we know that there is mix, there isn't really mix.
Okay. But wait.
Man.
Okay, hold up. When you say Black, you're speaking just in color. Now
These are different. These are different connotations, man. You're using these
yeah.
words
Right,
interchangeably, and I know that
right,
we used to use these. We used to do this a lot in the past, but the truth is that these are different things entirely. When you talk about national context, there's a big overlay there that America has a monopoly on. So when we talk about black and white, we're talking about it through an American lens, which is
correct,
wholly different when you talk about it through a UK lens. When you talk about black in the UK, you're talking about something entirely different when you're talking about what is it, almost around 99% of UK black people, quote unquote, are all of African descent. You know,
right,
when you talk about people in America, like we were bred here, bruh.
yeah,
Well,
Like you're talking about two different things.
well,
You talk about
well,
the continent of African, they're
no,
African. These are
no,
two different things.
a lot of black people were born here as well, but their parents were, you might mean you could say, come from elsewhere, like Caribbean or Africa. Yes.
So okay,
well,
so you're speaking of how how the ruling society receives y'all. So they actually they actually refer to y'all as Black, as if Black is a culture in and to
Yeah.
itself,
So they yeah.
just amongst your own
Yeah.
people.
So they say Black Caribbean, Black African, for example. Yes, that's on the application form. Yes.
Oh,
see,
look,
Hold up,
well,
as
yeah,
opposed to white Caribbean or white African.
No, they don't have that. It's just, they have.
Exactly right, because there's only one context for that. There isn't multiple contexts. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Right.
There's only one lens to view that through, and you're not. I don't know if you're aware of this. It may be because of your quote unquote conservatism and where it comes from, and the lens that it's viewed through. But the bottom line is this, man. Like when you're talking about a nation and you talk about Africans, like you're talking about Africans, okay? When you talk about Caribbeans, you're talking about Caribbeans. All right, like we
Right.
understand these things. When you talk about black, we know what we're talking about. Okay, like there isn't any real way to hash that out. You talk about the UK, like, dude, come on now. You know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but hopefully someone can help you clarify because I need to take
well,
some medicine, man. I'll be right back.
well, I think part of it is the lack of, and I'll use awareness for lack of a better word. The awareness and the cultural education that we all once upon a time had to go through to get to where we are. He's not there yet. And because he's in the UK and because he probably doesn't deal with us as we deal with a lot of other people, his understanding hasn't reached that level. So you have to be able to work with him. That's all that is.
Agreed. So Arsenal God, let me ask you this. In the aspect of solution with interacting with the feministized women of your community, what percentage of them do you believe to be workable?
Workable with? Not very many. Not very many.
Give me a number. Give me a number.
Let me explain. This is the thing about it. A lot of women don't. Some of them don't actually realize that they're feminists.
Facts.
So what happens is that they will say that they don't agree with this feminist point or that. But then when you deal with it in a using the Kevin Samuel way, you realize that they're feminists because they will turn around there and say that they want a 50-50 deal, for example. Yeah.
So are you saying this now because you have a Black manosphere perspective towards interacting and engaging in, or has there been a Black man UK perspective already established for interacting with the programmed aspect of y'all women?
When you get done with that, I got a question for you too.
No. Yeah, this is something that's been here in the UK for quite a while. Yeah. Yeah. So it's you know what I mean, which is again where that this entire attitude comes from, which is basically
okay. So what is it about you to the Black manosphere then?
I was surfing around on YouTube, and then I came across people like Minister Japp and Kevin Samuels.
Okay.
When I came across it, I
Jack.
gravitate to Kevin Samuels because basically Kevin Samuels, the things that Kevin Samuels talked about, I experienced, yeah. Right. And I was made to feel crazy in the Black manosphere over here. When I, you know what I mean, they would say always.
Wait. You were made to feel crazy while within the Black manosphere, or because you were
for example, the angry Black
with...
woman, yeah, the angry Black woman, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So they would make an excuse and say you're gonna be stronger, or they would make an excuse and say, you know what I mean. The Diary of a Tired Black Man had a real effect, just like over in America, it had an effect here.
Right.
For me, I think that's where they changed it, because it was the Black women used to say they were angry because they didn't like you or something about you, and then it changed to this excuse, which I believe come from the Pan Africans, of slavery. Yeah, right. Suffering from the historic slavery. Yeah.
Hey, quick question though. Hey, when Polish people, when they move to the UK, what do they call them? Do they designate those people, like, let's say they're Black? Do they designate them as Black Polish people? Like, how does that go?
Well, the Polish people, I don't think I've come across a Black.
All right, what about Russian Black?
Polish,
what about Black Russian people? Like, they call them like Black Russians? Like, what do they call them when they migrate to the UK? What do they call them?
Well, that's what they call them. They call them Eastern Europeans. Yeah.
So okay, I got you. All right, I was just wondering, man. I don't know, man. Like, because I mean, African, you know, they white Africans, right? They call them white Africans when they go on the application. That's what they call them.
Hey.
I don't remember, but yeah.
I got you. Okay.
All right.
So basically, let me clarify. For the white people, I think it's white British or white. It's white British, white European, or white other. So it might be white other.
All right, let me call out this super chat real quick. Shout out to Yolanda Sanders. Says shout out to BMBBH best weekend show.
Facts.
Hey, can't argue with you. You know, that is a very astute observation, and I do appreciate that. You know, you're just proving that intelligent people visit this channel. So thank you for the super chat and for the massive compliment. I really appreciate it.
Well put.
Yeah. So, shout out to Omega Dreads Gaming Channel. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, but the title of this broadcast is "Defending the Worst Versions of Ourselves from Ourselves." Let's talk about this. Let's have a little change of direction. How do you react when you try to talk to black people about what we need to do and what we need to improve on? I mean, and it's just and it's all a matter of opinion. I mean, but
for me, I'm gonna say this for us to.
let me finish. Let me finish real quick. Let me finish because I was getting to somewhere. Okay, I feel like one of the worst excuses ever that we use in these conversations is when you're asked, "Is this a problem that's exclusive to black people?" I feel like it's a very disingenuous, dismissive thing to say when you're having one of these discussions, and I would like to know what you gentlemen think of whenever you have these discussions and you hear somebody say that. What's going through your
head? Me, personally speaking, I think they need to. I think they need to sit down and eat a Snickers because people like that they kill me. You know, I had to unfriend some people from Facebook that I've personally known for at least 20 years because my stance is, look, we try and sweep the stuff up under the rug as a culture, failing to realize that it's in our music, it's in the television program that most people take in. So even if we want to quote unquote stay on code, we can't because it's already out there. So if we're trying to deal with something behind closed doors, then the first thing we have to do is actually, Kevin Samuels talks about this. He talks about an ethnic image. The first thing we need to address is the ethnic image. And as long as we support the smut TV and the music in the manner that we do, we're never going to be able to address this in a manner that's going to allow us to shake off the ethnic image that we have and to move forward so we can actually address it. So one of the two ways is we address it publicly or privately when we start to address the out of wedlock birth rate and the way our homes and our boys are raised. That's, for me, that's the first thing.
Facts.
Yeah, and Yolanda Sanders is Why Skinner Man Cave. So, okay, just to want to offer a look for those of you who've seen Why Skinner on this program before. That's who that is. So,
shout out.
Yeah, but real shit, Herbert Lewis.
Yeah, so I have a question in regards to that because my perception is a little bit more bleak, and so my question to you, based on your answer, is if that is the case and should be addressed in such a manner that starts with the young. Let's say, for instance, we get all 100%. Let's just say we get 100% of the black boys to essentially do better and not perpetuate this issue. What's to stop us from having the same outcomes if the women are still out of order? What's to say that we don't have these same exact issues if WS isn't still a very real issue?
Well, I'll answer that question in this way. The key factors that the individual controls are independent of any system that we live under. In other words, our education, our mate selection, our communities. We have 100% control of those things. If we control those, let me put it to you in using a factory terminology. We have 100% control of what we produce in terms of our factory. If what we produce in terms of our factory is beyond reproach, then we don't have to worry about anything that comes out of that factory. So that means that these men are out here having random sex. They have to be able to get control of those children. If they can't raise those children properly, then they need to turn those kids over to somebody that they can. If we get control of the boys, then what we can do is say, look, these are the type of women that you don't want to deal with.
Hold on. When you say the factory, Are you speaking of the
Yes.
the potentiality of being able to influence the ideology that people
No,
would
no,
choose?
no. I'm talking about when I say the factory. I'm talking about the men and the women who are producing these kids, who are teaching and educating them.
Right.
The factory.
You
What
jumped
they
the
get,
gun. You did jump. You did jump a step because I asked you very specifically in terms of black boys.
no, and that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If the mothers and the fathers get together and say, when we produce this kid, this is what we have laid out for him. When that path is set for him, he's going to fall in line. When he gets to be an adult, he's going to already know that there's a select type of women that he's not even going to engage, no matter what. And I said this on our podcast when the women asked me, well, what can we do as women? I said, if you're over 30, you can't do anything. You've already aged out in terms of producing kids.
Lou who
And they,
her.
and they were, I said, that's the same thing for men. I said, we have already aged out of producing kids. I know men can have them later, but most men opt not to. If you look at the number of black men that don't have kids.
Yeah,
So,
because let me say something on that. I mean, we may be able to produce children forever, but our bodies are not going to last forever. When you got to consider when that child wants to run around and play and jump all over you, like my child currently does, uses me as a jungle gym. You're going to have to consider age as well.
Well, the vast majority after they reach the vast majority of men after a certain age don't actually opt to have children after a certain age. Believe it or not, if you haven't had them by a certain age, the chances that you will drop tremendously. I believe that age for men, and it's not a cutoff point per se, but it's just that I think that your chances of that outcome being reproduced is dropped down to it's almost in the 20% range, like chances that outcome is going to happen.
But hold up, give the age range because I'm 42.
Yeah, it's around that age range.
It's around that, yeah, because I know what I'm feeling right now. I don't even want to bring a child in this world. Like, I was married for 10 years. So we had a couple of ectopic pregnancies and, pregnancies that didn't go through. It is what it is, whatever. But now at 42, I wouldn't even think of bringing a child in this world because it's like, damn, I won't be able to permit them to keep a childhood, having to, educate them on the reality of what it means, not just, being your daddy within the system, but us as black people within the system as a whole.
Yeah, it's around the age of around 40 that men, if you haven't already had a child by that point, where it's kind of like the chances of you having a child after that point are very slim. Is it possible? Yes, but
can I say that my cousin
it's
had
very
one
low.
50. Hang on a minute.
I don't care. I don't care about your cousin. I'm talking about in general statistics in the U.S. Okay, so the chances of that happening are very low. Can you do it? Yeah, you can do it up to any age, but the chances of you doing it and that outcome happening are low.
It depends. It depends on how you look after yourself as well.
No, I'm not talking about individual men. You're not understanding. I'm talking about
I know what
groups.
you're saying in general, but I said a factor of that is how you look after yourself.
No, you're speaking biological. We're speaking of a principle absorbed within one's character.
Okay. Right. Yeah. For me, it was 30. I don't have any kids, and I've always said that if I didn't have any by 30, it was a wrap.
Facts.
Okay. Well, I'm 40. Yeah. So,
hey, you know what though? You know what they say though? They say something must be wrong with you if you're a 30-year-old man with no kids.
Yeah,
which is a huge contradiction because they talk about dick discipline and men and black men being deadbeat dads. They got kids they ain't taking care of, but when a guy doesn't choose to impregnate somebody, just so he can become a deadbeat dad, and all of a sudden,
yeah, but who's saying that? Hang on a minute. Who's saying that? The people who usually say that are usually the ones who are irresponsible dads and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much that. What it is it's something I heard a few months ago. Black men have the freedom to do what they want, but not the right to. And we're looked at regardless of what we achieve financially or anything else, we are still looked at through the eyes of them as being property, and that they own us, which means that they own our rights to have kids whenever we want to. It's like the Dr. T. Hassan Johnson says, we're CompuServes. You know, we're there.
Well, this is what I was gonna say on the subject is what and it adds to what you're saying about both parents. Yeah, there should be, like when you start a business. Yeah, you can't go to the bank and say, "Give me $1 million." Yeah, they'll laugh at you. You have to have a business plan. Yeah, you have to have a business plan breaking down your whole business. Yeah, of how it's gonna operate. Yeah. And a whole heap of load of things, yeah. And I'm saying,
you're gonna have to have a hell of a business plan to get $1 million.
you're gonna have to have a
I
business
know
plan
for the
to
sake of
get
discussion.
$1 million. And I'm saying that a child should be the same. People tend to have children and then react after, yeah. So they don't have any. The children don't come into anything, yeah. You got nothing there for the children, yeah.
You think that these are like somehow bilateral decisions, and they're not in America.
Right.
You know, the vast majority of children that are born in the States are actually unplanned, and they're actually born based on a woman's decision. You gotta understand, men here. We don't have any.
Women control access to sex, so it's them that allow it to happen. Yes.
Well, yeah, we don't. Same as there. I believe your laws are similar in that we don't actually have agency over the decision when it comes to childbirth. We have none. Okay. So what actually is the vast majority of children that are born here are born to single mothers. They make these decisions unilaterally, and a lot of times they choose the fathers for those children long before the fathers even know that they were going to be fathers.
Right.
So
they do.
And in that community, what's wrong is that it's based off of the women base it off of sexual market value, rather than. So when they pick, this is where I say the burden lays on the woman because. And I say this to a lot of young girls. I tell them to pick somebody who's not just a sexual market value, but somebody who's someone who's going to be a good father. Yeah. So stop picking Pookie and Ray Rays. Yeah. Pick guys who are responsible.
Hey, Arsenal.
Women don't choose. Women don't choose sex partners, and that's a rational response. And women are irrational when it comes to who they select in terms of mate reproduction, and that's just rooted in human biology. They're always looking for somebody who can.
That's not true. In other races, I've seen that they don't just pick.
They do.
They don't just pick somebody.
They do.
Oh yeah.
They do.
He thinks
they do.
And have children with them. Yeah. They make sure that they're going to be a good father. Yeah. They judge them.
No, you don't see it. That's why. You don't see it. They do. The only place where that doesn't happen is where they have arranged marriages. But the arranged marriages, usually the finances substitute for any shortcoming that the father might have. That's the other thing that a lot of people don't really factor in. We consistently talk about Western culture, and understandable because that's where we dwell at. But if we start to look at other cultures and things of that nature, to avoid women making bad mate selections, they arrange those marriages so that those kids have the best chance of survival. Something that's
religious, like the Muslims do that. But I'm saying is, I've seen in white society, and I've seen in especially in white society, the daughters interact with the family, yeah. When they pick a man, yeah. So they you know what I mean. So they show him to their. Whereas you don't see that with the black women, yeah. They don't, you know what I mean. They don't run it through the father. Back in the day, it used to be like that. When I say back in the day, probably I think in if you go, I wasn't around there, but if you go back into the probably 50s and stuff and 60s, they used to do that. The father would vet. The father, the brother, the uncle would vet the guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas the issue is that doesn't happen in the UK and the US.
Well, I mean,
it's been. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It's
In
been
African
it's been
society, that
it's
happened.
been it's
In
been
African society,
happening.
that happens now.
It's been okay. So okay, this is the issue, man. Because I mean, you have a different dynamic going on there in the UK. So I'm not 100% clear on all of your history, but from what I do know is that slavery ended at a much different time period than it did here in America. And our family structures have been completely our dynamics have been completely different. You know, in terms of mate selection in Black America and family structures here in Black America. Okay, so Black America has never had any sort of patriarchy ever. It's never existed. Okay. Um, so in large part, our mate selection in terms of women's choices, we never really had any real sort of control over because of slavery and the consequences afterwards. Okay. Um, when it comes to the Black family and the amount of control levers that we did get to pull in terms of vetting men, um, those controls were very limited. Did we have them? Yes, but to what degree? Not as much as you would think. We didn't have anything close to a patriarchy at any point in our history.
I'm going
You
to say
know,
this. In the UK, it did end a lot sooner than it did in America. But for me, I still think that issues are similar. The reason why I say this is because, for example, when I went to school, I saw this. Yeah, the you know, you see the woman pick the fool of the class, the guy who's causing the most disruption. Yeah, and he's the one who went on and sold drugs. Yeah, you know, you see them pick. I mean, especially our women. We see them. They gravitate to these kind of like thug like mentality, which is the problem in the Black community.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I would really suggest that, like, even though there has a lot of truth to that, to be careful with saying that, because in some instances it sounds like incel talk. Like, it sounds like that you're making excuses for not getting any, and that's what they arm themselves with every time we have these conversations. You guys,
I'm not using. No, I'm not an incel, and I'm not using.
I know.
I don't think I'm coming off incel. Like, I'm saying for what it is. Yeah, this is why you have the issues that you have in the Black community, and Kevin Samuel talks about this all the time.
Yeah.
And the women that are complaining and saying that Black men ain't shit and been moaning for the last 50, 60 years. You look at it and you look at the guys that they've chose. They choose felons and they choose people who are the bad side of life, and it's because, you know what I mean. It's a security issue. They in the Black women have this mentality that's thinking that basically the thug is going to be able to protect them more than the guy who's going to be a lawyer or a doctor or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. They call those guys lame and all those kind of things. Yeah. Because he's not going around showing his bravado off. And...
Yeah, there's plenty of dumb narratives going around here. Yeah, that, you know, and that's part of the defending, you know, the worst of ourselves when we rail against the best of ourselves. You know, it's like calling the educated dude a lame. Now, you know,
they call him gay and all this coon and all that. Yeah, I've been just like Kevin Simon. I've been called all that just because you're different. You're not. You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
not
and then like, you know, while we're on KS. I said this a couple weeks ago. The reason why a lot of people don't like KS is because of the image that he presents. You know, a lot of people think that it's an untouchable image because he dresses in a suit that he might have spent a little money on. But one problem that we do have in our community, and is that when we think of what a masculine Black man is, we're always choosing this hood gangster pookie type image. You know, we make that we make that guy the symbol of masculinity, and we make the intelligent guy. And this is an indoctrination that has been stuck with us ever since like the 80s, every time you see
No, it goes back. It goes back even farther than that, dude. It
uh,
goes back way farther than that.
I agree with that. It goes back way
That
further than that.
image, okay, as far as America is concerned, comes out of slavery. Okay, it has to
I
do
was
with
gonna
the
say that.
Negro. It has to do with the Negro buck. Okay, the physical dominant Negro buck. That's where that shit comes from, and those things are almost epigenetic at this point. Okay,
Yeah,
and so to try to
what you're saying is true because they class the thug as the field nigger, and they class the guy who's the lawyer as kind of like the house nigger.
I'm not getting into that. I'm not touching that. With a 10-foot pole, I'm staying away from that. Not going there. This is it. this is the thing, man. These sort of stereotypes and representations. Of course, this image was cast on us, but it's also somewhat following us out of the history of slavery, and so to some extent, this is almost epigenetic at this point, and it has been bred. It has been bred into our culture. Okay. And so if you want to get this out, a part of this has to be dealt with in terms of propaganda and changing our imagery through these messages on these YouTube streets and people like Kevin Sanders and other representatives. And so this isn't something that is easily defeated through positive messaging. This is going to take a lot of work and a lot of time because it took a lot of time to get us here. You know, these things weren't just implanted here yesterday. They come from a long history that we have endured here in the United States. You know, and that's not to say that these negative representations, and they're not entirely negative. You know, when you really get down to the brass tacks of it, you know, uh, what's negative about being able to protect your family? What's negative about being, you know, swole? I don't think there's too much negative about that. But uh, being big and dumb, that's a problem. I get your point. You know, that there is a point to that. And there are negative stereotypes associated with black imagery that have been perpetuated, which is also problematic. But that's not entirely due to our own self-sabotage. You know, to some extent it is,
We
and
have
to
to look
some
at
extent it
ourselves.
isn't.
We can't blame white supremacy. 'Cause look at what's happening to you in America. White supremacy don't need to do anything. Your black women are going out there dragging your name through the mud, literally dragging your name and making you look like you're the worst. And the thing is, I've done research, and other races of men treat their women worse, but their women don't disgrace their men, which is weird.
because they're scared. We
It's not to do with that.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
White,
and a lot of
you don't see white women disgrace.
and here's a lot of and
white
here's
men.
and here's what these old self victimhood feminist ass women that be on these social media streets, they'll push back against this all day. But black men have been the most tolerable men with their women ever. There's no consequence to what these women do because we've always been taught that, or we've always had it shoved on us, is that they're supposed to be this way.
Mhm.
So we put up with it, not knowing the disarray that we are allowing, and it has gotten out of hand. So yes, while other groups of men do speak disparaging of the women, which is a lie that the sisterhood tells, because they say that no other group of men disparage and hate and bash their women like black men do. That's not true at all.
Well, you expect, this is the thing, right? Is that a lot of people expect that a woman's and I'm going to quote Edward Anderson on this because he's said it before, and I tend to agree with this, is that we expect for black women and women in general as VPS to be on target. And the truth is that women have bad decision-making skills, and so far as it pertains to mate selection. And for the vast majority of history, women haven't had control over their own mate selection skills.
Correct.
That didn't come into fruition until the advent of birth control.
1960s. Correct.
So this idea that they're just gonna be able to get it right and that they're getting it right is laughable. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. and they never really
well,
have. You
I
know,
would say especially since probably the second wave of feminism, all other races of women have picked mostly picked properly. Yeah.
no.
No, I wouldn't agree with
No,
that.
no, no. And also, here's one thing I want you to start practicing. We gotta start trying to take other race. We gotta start taking other races of people more, remove them more from the conversation. I understand that from a contextual standpoint, but my whole thing is we can't care what other races of people think and what they're involved in because we're not really supposed to care. We're supposed to care about us. We're supposed to care about what's going on over here. Yeah, of course, a lot of these females will sit here and they will lie and say that and act like every other race of men are just so super good to their women because they want to live under the fantasy is that they can be like that too without all the
Right.
struggles and the difficulties of being black in America. That's all it is. It's a security blanket to get away from what the actual problem is. I mean, they think ending up with a white man is going to solve their problem, and it's not. But at the same time, I'm not with the policing of one's privates. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but it's not aligning with the logic.
That's a lie.
What?
You know you don't believe that.
Well, I don't believe what.
What you just said, you don't believe that. You don't believe that shit.
What, policing of
No
someone's
one
privates?
does. Yeah, no one actually believes. We say it, but we don't believe it.
Yeah.
This is the thing, man. Look, when we talk about certain agendas and we talk about certain things, it's policing. We just don't say it. We just don't say it outright. That's what the fuck it is. When we talk about having carpet babies out here, unidentified kids like who the daddy? What's that called? That's policing. You know what I mean? We just don't want to call it that. That's what it actually is. We all believe in it. We just don't want to say it.
Is it policing, or is it trying to hold people accountable for the destruction that they're causing?
What do we do when we hold people accountable for shit? Well, who do we send after them?
Depends on who you are. I'm going to sidestep that question because of my place and what I'm trying to do in life. But that depends on who you are. If you operated within the law, you send the police. If you operate outside the law, you call the wolf.
Oh, okay. So that ain't much better. It's the same shit at the end of the day, just a different word. That's all. So I mean,
well, no. What allows you to live, the other doesn't.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it depends on what level of extreme you want to go to. But the bottom line is, we all believe in a level of accountability. It just depends on how far you want to go. You want to call it policing, or you want to call it something else? You know what I mean? Like, what you want to call it? We all police each other. We just, we don't want to step on any toes. That's all. You know.
On a serious point, one of the things that we need to do, since we're talking about our people, we need to, because our women don't understand what being feminine is, and it's something that I've come to realize. And if you listen to the women on the fan, especially the ones who are anti Kevin Samuel, you'll see that they don't understand what it is to actually be feminine.
Hey, you know what though? I believe that women that are anti Kevin Samuels are just, a lot of them are just anti telling us any fucking thing. That's right. What it is. Because like Monique, she just proved it. She tried to say it as nice as she possibly could, and they still went in a fake outrage shitstorm on social media. They still did it.
Well, look, Ayana was whatever her name was on Opera Network, and she used to
Alana Van Zandt.
Yeah, and they cancelled her. Yeah, they cancelled her. Yeah, because she said that black women are out of order, and going out the door, they said that she's still out of order. Yeah, so we see that even black women that go against and say against the grain, they get cancelled. So
that's the unfortunate part about that is that type of power, and make no mistake, it is power. That type of power in the wrong hands, or in any hands, actually, depending on what you're trying to do with it, is dangerous because it throws off the shackles of what PK was just talking about in terms of accountability. So if you can shirk accountability, then you're free to run amok and cause any type of destruction and continue the dysfunction that's keeping us mired where we are. And to the question that was asked, I think that's what we have to start identifying is that are we going to say these are the group of reprobate people, whether male or female, that we need to separate ourselves from and go and make a new community so we can push them aside essentially and I'll reference the movie Demolition Man, how they had the people beneath the ground. Are we willing to do that?
Right,
To
I want to answer you, Herbert. Herbert, we don't have, like we got Med Space on YouTube, like Opera Network. The problem is everything that's just like here, everything that seems to represent black is controlled by women. Yeah, we need our own TV network owned by black men because black women don't see us. They don't see us as part of them. Yeah, they really don't see us as.
I agree. And Obsidian has been saying that for years is that black men need to start getting together, start putting our money together so we can have our own networks. Like he says, black male media for black men owned and created by black men. So that way we can start to put things and programming in place for us that we control. So no longer is a narrative told by somebody else. It's like like I tell people, if you don't like the narrative, rewrite the story. And we're in literally the best position we have probably ever been in,
of course,
in our existence to be able to do
it. It's all there.
Are we going to finance it?
It's all there, but we have to, like Kevin Samuel says, we have to change our own image. Yeah,
right.
Because this is the thing about it. We can't turn around. I get tired when we blame white supremacy for our image. White supremacy don't have to do anything, like I've said. Yeah.
Also, let me.
We see that our black women will put the most negative types and throw it out. They throw opera. We see that that opera has got rich from trashing black men. Yeah.
I get that. Hey, but let me go ahead and say this real quick. I respect what Kevin Samuels has done, but let's not go along that line of deifying the man. He's human just like anyone else. I mean, what he's doing is a great thing, and he's really broken through. But let's not get a man a Jesus complex just yet. No, I'm just saying.
I don't think it's so much that. I think what it is people realize that he's only speaking what black men have been saying for generations now.
Yeah, he's using his platform to get our talking points out there, and exactly. I think that's a great thing.
Exactly. So
and I think that's why people use him is because it's easier to essentially why reinvent the wheel. He's out there. He's putting the points for it. So if we can use him as a conduit, almost like the Trojan horse, if we can get him into homes, and we can come out and start breaking in these homes, and metaphorically speaking, of course, and we can start breaking into these homes and start rewriting people's mental imagery of what we are, then we've accomplished a huge thing. It's a big step for us to start moving in that direction. We just have to continue the momentum.
Well, yeah, the bottom line is that he's there and will be there. Hopefully, keep up the good work and make sure you drop back down the rope. That's the situation.
Right.
Well, this is one of the things and we'd not put him in a thing. If we can push Kevin Samuel mainstream, I think where he's on mainstream media, I think things will change for us.
Yeah, but you know what? It's like he's a trailblazer. I'll say it just like that.
When you make a trail, there has to be some sort of bricklayer behind you. Someone's gonna put down the blocks, man.
Absolutely, because absolutely, one man can't do it alone. It's like
no.
It has to be a strong follow-up.
Of course, we need to help him, and this is there is people are protecting him at all costs.
Well,
they call him the Kevin Samuels Defense Force. They'll defend Kevin Samuels at all, and that is typical of a popular person with a fan base. You're gonna have some fans that's gonna defend the man, and they rail so much against that. Like these are a crazy group of people. Like remember the Bernie Bros? Like how they're kind of treating Kevin Samuels fans like the Bernie Bros. Like people, they're just getting annoying or whatever. But what annoys me even more is the fact that there you got content creators making 9 and 10 videos. Like it was a content creator. Like I usually wake up a little bit early, which my regular wake up time is probably going to be an hour and a half. Uh, and I usually look at my phone. I was like, I'll probably peek in on YouTube or the time or whatever. I peek in on YouTube and look at the feed. There's a dude the other day. Is like this dude's up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Is like hating on the black manosphere, hating on black men. I'm like, man, this dude just ain't got shit else to do with himself. Like,
Are you talking honest
you
truth?
up way early.
You're talking honest truth.
No, and please don't mention that name because it's like it's like okay, he whatever content creator he's making his own ways and everything, but I just think that with his approach he's being a bit disingenuous, and he can say whatever the fuck he wants to about me. I don't give a damn. But I was very welcoming of him over here. But if he wants to go over there and shit on the Black Manosphere daily, the only advice I have for that kid is when the little train derails, you're gonna have to start making other content. So that's all I'm gonna say. And are you gonna be able to hold that little spiteful crowd then? That will be what defines him and people like him as a content creator. Can you do this without shitting on the Black Manosphere? Can you do this without shitting on Kevin Samuels? And that's all I'll say about that. But as far as, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. And and that's for whatever that content creator is so fucking far gone. It's like, I don't even really give a damn to say his name or who will speak on him. But it's like this. You know where your bread and butter is. Your bread and butter is on a faction that you are hating on.
If that's the case, then he might as well just hate on Black America while you still got the time and just join, WS at this point.
Yeah,
he might as well. He might as well, because that's where we're going. It is what it is. If that's how you feel, then just come all the way out and say what team you're really playing for. That's kind of where I'm at.
And it is always these guys that's claiming like pro-black or blackity black or whatever that's doing this. And I mean, like I've told people,
well, the guy that I mentioned, he's for defending every aspect of women. Black women.
and that's on him. But at the same time, it's like this with simping. You have to be consistent. You have to keep it up, because the second you break, that sisterhood is gonna pour into you like pyroclastic flow. They're gonna bombard you from every way. So my relationship with the sisterhood was well established before I even came to YouTube. So there'll never be any misunderstandings on that. It's like I just don't agree with like 99% of what them illogical bitches say. But but pandering can be easily exposed as false. I'm just saying, for those guys doing that shit, they got to keep it up, because see, even Derrick Jackson, as strong as he was with the pandering and the simping, he couldn't keep it up.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I've been on the internet for a long time, man. Herbert probably has as well. Okay, I've been around here, and one thing I learned in the advent of the internet a long time ago is never feed the trolls. Okay, that goes for the chat, and that goes for these people who run around here pushing false narratives that just aren't true, and they're not true. If they're trolls, and they're not having a what's the word? A genuine argument. I'm not going to name any names. I don't think it's best to feed these people. They will die out organically.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, and I usually don't fear people. So
don't feed them. Don't feed the
Yeah,
troll.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Don't feed the trolls, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as generally speaking, I normally don't fear saying somebody's name, but I know what impact it can have because, see, you'll say somebody's name one time and then they'll make a big fucking issue of it, like you're trying to beef with them. And honestly, if I can debunk your argument easily, I don't see you as a worthy beef. Or, it takes it, and doing shit like that really takes away time from what I need to do over here on this channel to keep this growth going. So it's just 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 for future, just be careful when you say names. I'm never afraid to address anyone or any talking point, but at the same time, we have to be careful with this shit. I have no time to waste on a fucking beef. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
I would say this: do what Obsidian did. Come up with a code name for him.
code name. Hey, I can.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I can do that all day. I can do that all day. But at the same time, it's like I've already, by certain people, people come to me like, well, you kind of, were you talking about me or whatever, and I'll tell them the truth. I'll say yay or nay. I'll say it without blinking. It's just that's just how I am. But PK is right. You do not feed the trolls. Cause see, if I were to say the other name, if I were to say the other name that I was talking about, then it'd have been about 4 or 5 broadcasts. What you saying my name? Well, fuck you, and then, no pride, and black men ain't shit because I have to say it because I'm in shackles, and that. I don't want to hear that dumbass pathetic shit, and then my name said in the same grain. So I mean, like, cause like, believe, I know it doesn't seem that way to people who are watching, but I am absolutely with the shits.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Some people are really smart at this, and they've gotten really savvy. And over the years, I think that the best tactic and best approach I've ever seen is hitting people with subliminals, like left and right. You just keep hitting them with subliminals in every couple videos. You know what I mean? They'll get the message eventually, and they'll get kind of pissed off and sad and upset, and you know their videos will go off track. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And so subliminals seem to work pretty good on these types of people,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll know exactly who you mean. But the thing is when you call them out directly, like, to some extent, is it good? Yeah, you can. It depends on how big they are, and it depends on what type of publicity and what point you're at personally. But outside of that, man, sometimes it's best not to feed them, because some of these people are very savvy with these shit, with this whole trolling thing, and they'll use that as fuel to grow their own platforms and channels and messages. And so it
Yeah,
isn't always
because
a good idea. Most of the
yeah,
time, it's not a good idea.
yeah, because like I can tell you what, a lot of people are growing their channels off criticism for the Black Manosphere, and it's not just the aforementioned. It's like you wouldn't believe how many channels are out here actually targeting the Black Manosphere. And I'm talking about some unknown names, some stuff started popping up in my algorithm. I mean, it's at a numerous rate. We
Yeah.
are the talk of the town.
Yeah, they'll die. The funny thing is if we ever disappear, so will they. So their entire channel will disappear. So they
Right.
don't. To some extent, they exist because we do. If we stop existing, their existence ends as well. They don't have anything or any more content to make after that point, because their entire following came here for that. They're essentially, they're love haters. You know what I mean? They love to hate, but they love us because they wouldn't exist without us.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we're their bread and butter, whether they like it or not.
That's
I
all
mean,
right.
if
I
you're if
don't
you're
mind being a biscuit butterer. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
conscious moron, yeah, somebody said conscious moron was trolling.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think he was. I mean, or she, or I didn't think they were. But I didn't mean to troll you fellas. Be good. Okay, who's conscious moron getting into it with down there?
I'm leaving that alone. The chat has been going ham, bro. But
Uh,
anyhow, I'm getting off, man. I hope y'all have a great night. And take
okay.
it easy, Kev, and take it easy, Herbert and Arsenal God. Hey, man, stick to the UK, bro. 6 in UK, bro. That's it, bro.
All right, thanks for coming by, PK. And Rogish the Bill Monger, he dropped off at some point too. So thanks for coming by as well, brother. Your input is really appreciated. Shit, and we're at 3.5 hours, and I got somewhat of a day tomorrow, and I also got a show that's much like this going to happen tomorrow night too. Maybe not in context of the subject matter, but I've come up with some good shit. So let's go ahead and just do final statements, and we'll just like I see y'all technically later on tonight. So Arsenal God, Herbert Lewis, whichever one of y'all go first.
I like to close out my shows with a simple statement: growth and understanding the curves and the gray area. Godspeed. See you next time.
Word, and thank you for coming by. And you guys are always welcome. As long as you're respectful, I have no problem with you being here. So thanks for the intelligent input, Herbert. Arsenal God.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks for holding me. Thanks for allowing me to come up to your platform. And it's been quite good. See you again soon. Thanks.
Word. All right. Well, all right. Thank you both. And thank you for everybody that has come by and allow me to bring another productive show. Another really good conversation. And although we had some conflicting opinions earlier, at the end we were always able to come to a mature resolution, and that's the beauty of this platform right here. There's no beefing that started for at least from this platform, and the people who come up here and in the chat are usually on our best behavior. We usually are. So I will give you guys that. We rarely have actually, we rarely have, and I don't, no pun intended, conscious moron. We rarely have morons here. I mean, I know you're not really a moron, so but I'm gonna go back and read this chat, so see what's going on, see how we're doing. But shout out to Hybrid Impact 83. And Black Light Revelations too, of course. You pretty much stayed the course, so yeah, I appreciate that. And when this channel grows, I mean, you guys will be the baseline for how these conversations are going to go in the chat. So, looking forward to the growth and the evolution of not only this channel but the habitual line steppers as well. And what we like, I'll say, what we do is what we want to do is we want to encourage everyone to be the best versions of ourselves, because like I said, being the worst version is just is unbecoming of the people that we say that we are, and how we try to present ourselves to the world, and the presentation we want from the world. I mean, well, the presentation we want the world to perceive us as is one that we stand on a much higher ground. And what we always try to tell people who are, not even younger than us, but even in our own age group, because, stupidity comes from all ages. Just because I'm Generation X doesn't mean that I got far more sense than all the millennials put together. I mean, that's an absurd statement and a tall claim to make, because when I was literally speaking when I said that, early in this broadcast, that there are 7+ billion people on this planet. So while some things may be true as you apply it, then, other things just aren't. Like, of course, I may be smarter than some millennials, but, I can't go around here making tall claims. So to say that is to say that, that some people spend their lives being the worst versions of themselves. And then on that last day, when they take their last breath, when they know the end is coming, they'll look back and they'll regret every fucking thing that they were so proud of on their way to regretting their lives before they take that last breath. And we need to get rid of the possibility of, creating people, creating mentalities that lead to a miserable last day. I don't want to embrace the thought that as a people that we are wasting our time, here with bullshit. And if we eliminated a lot of the bullshit, we'll have more time to focus on replacing that bullshit with good stuff so we can be on our way to being our better selves. Now, as far as like the space goes, there are opportunities. There are opportunities. There are some people here that, they give this superstar fucking uh presentation. They want to give themselves this superstar presentation, but they're not living up to the part. You know, that's a lot of the shit that we talk about. You want a certain image, but you want to have that image without earning the shit. A lot of these things take hard work. I'll say myself, for example, I'm getting older, so I can't sit around and continue to, I would say, eat the same way that I've eaten growing up, and the exercising the same way that I did. Well, just or just doing things as if a person that is half my age have done. I understand that life is a constant evolution, and sometimes you have to keep up with yourself. If that makes any sense, even if it doesn't, then you have some understanding of where I'm going with it. And what I'm saying is, the more and more you evolve and the more and more you improve, then you'll be happy with the best self that you can come up with at the end of all of that. But that kind of shit does take a little work. So, I mean, it's like there's no time, especially in this time that we live in. It's no time to be lazy. It's no time to sit up there and continue to let the bullshit reign supreme. Everybody who got a fucking mouth can open it and tell somebody some shit. So why are we a society that act like we don't like being told anything? Seriously. The expectation on black men is to be mentors or be some guidance to the younger generation. And yes, we face a bunch of pushback because guess what? You want us to mentor the younger generation, but you're not teaching them kids at home the basic respect that you do give an elder. I'm not talking about all of this, oh, you better listen to me, motherfucker. I'm not saying all of that. But what I'm saying is like if an older person is speaking to you and they're well put together, there's a chance that you may learn from them. It's not for Jay-Z to try to give advice to younger rappers and say, hey, you know what? Don't do that money phone. That's some buffoon shit that came from WS. And then young men start to just double and triple down on that money phone shit. It's not for Monique to go out of her way to make an Instagram post. Yeah, she could have told some jokes. She could have made some people laugh because we love to laugh a lot in the black. Oh, we didn't like to laugh and we like to be entertained. But when there's a life lesson to be learned, guess what we do? We double and we triple down on the ignorance. It's a horrible look. I'm telling you that right now. Now, I may be a little selfish in my views, thinking that, well, since I have a child, or since there's a lot of people running around with children under 10 that in the black community, that maybe we need to be adults and be good examples for those children. But what I'm tired of is, I'm going to put this on the screen again. I'm tired of hearing this excuse every time these conversations come up. Because see, that excuse right there. Oh, is it a problem that it's exclusive to black people? That's telling me right there you don't give a fuck about anything. That's telling me right there that you don't give a fuck. That you don't care. And really, honestly, it tells me that at the end of the day, you're really not worth talking to. Because you're making it harder for people who actually do give a fuck about seeing our best selves. Would you like to see us at a much higher level before you check off this mud ball called Earth? Wouldn't you like to see it? Just close your eyes and envision that. A world without bullshit for the black community. But see, here's the world that I see. I see there's gonna have to be a lot of effort on our parts as a people. And that's the reality that we have to face if we do want to be our best selves and stop making all these dumbass excuses for our worst versions. Just think about it. Just think about it. Nobody says that you have to do everything everyone says, but just think about it. That's if these broadcasts get that I do and that the habitual line steppers do can get you to think, then we feel like we won. So anyway, don't quite know what the topic's going to be for the Saturday night show or any given Sunday for that matter. I do have some idea, but we'll just wait and see on that. And once again, this I'm in the broadcast with this. Please, please, please stop defending the worst of ourselves, please, especially from ourselves, from black people. Because it's like it just making us look like that we just can't see eye to eye on anything, and my belief is that ultimately we can work together to fix this, but we're gonna have to try. So that's it. Another great show. Thank you for everyone who came by. The panels are what make these shows a little bit more interesting, getting different perspectives. Arsenal God, you kind of funny. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. But if anything, we can stand to learn from each other sometimes. That's about it. So like, share, subscribe. Thank you once again for coming in. And Kev, we trust. See you on Saturday night.